What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. I'm your host, the most professional wrestler, TNA Star, proud member of the system, Scotty Pippen of Wrestling Figure Collecting, Brian Myers.
And I'm your host, Indie God, Deathmatch King, the complete, the internet champion, always ready, Matt Cardona, a.k.a. the $1,000 broski, a.k.a. the Michael Jordan of Wrestling Figure Collecting.
Well, I'm also here, producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling, Esquire, the most famous professional wrestling lawyer. And this show is brought to you by our good friends, Ringside Collectibles. Use code MAJOR to save 10%.
Finally got my hands on a very rare figure from Ringside Collectibles.
Oh, nice.
I have not gotten a Ringside order in a few weeks. I'm waiting. There's got to be stuff dropping soon that I need. There's got to be stuff. All right, follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Major WF Pod. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening, hit the subscribe button and leave a review. Not just any review, a major review. If we read it on air, you'll get a prize. Who won this week, Mark?
Here's the review. Richard Sparks at Ricardo Sparks. He says, hey guys, 2 years ago, I left a review thanking you for being a big part of my recovery from drug and alcohol addiction. Well, it's that time of year again, and I'm about to hit 7 years sober and clean. The figure community is still a massive part of that. I've been lucky to meet some great people, find a community, and have some wicked fun times through my new plastic baby addiction. Got myself an IWGP belt to celebrate this year, only title Matt hasn't held. True. And it's been a great year. I got married, started a new job managing a drug detox unit, and most importantly, finally completed my loose Hasbro collection.
Yeah.
Life is too sweet right now. Thanks, guys, for being my Friday routine. Ooh, he still maintains on the Friday. And keep doing what you do. It's all fun, but I don't think you understand how important what you do is to some people. Well, thank you very much.
Richard,
Incredible.
Thank you so much. That's a great review.
That's like incredible. It's cool to, the hobby can, be that stairway to so many things, right?
Sure. The giveaway courtesy of Ringside Collectibles. It was the Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa Retro 2-pack. Just find the pin post on X, repost to be eligible. Who won this week, Mark?
Green Ranger, 1619. Husband, father, and now toy collector. Oh, look at that.
Wow. Green
Check him out on YouTube. J&J Toy Giants.
Go.
He didn't pay for that plug. And the giveaway this week, the Ringside exclusive Bell to Bell Sabu. Obviously, rest in peace, Sabu. We're going to talk about Sabu in long form later in the show, but that's the giveaway this week. MajorMarks.com. Sign up today. The family, the community, the subscription service, patreon.com/MajorWFPod. Every single week, we give away a prize to a new and old subscriber. Who do we got?
First time in the line, Jeff Sengawait.
Nailed it.
Classic superstar Eric Fantic.
Thanks,
Antic's
guys.
been there a long time.
Guys, you get this podcast early and ad-free. You get access to the Facebook group. You get all the bonus podcasts. The two this month that we all do together, we just did one today. It's the Major Players. The first time is the Major Players taking on Joey Janela and X-Pac from GCW, February 2002, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tune in to hear the backstory of how Matt Cardona got so blown up.
Yeah.
X-Pac and I had to reach down and carry him through a classic.
That's right. And then we're gonna do for the Ultimates, the Major Movie Club. You guys, a couple more days to vote. Is it going to be Over the Top? Is it going to be Harry Potter or Jurassic Park? So we'll record
Hart
that next
Foundation
week.
and Up get to vote.
Oh, right. Hart Foundation.
Hart Foundation and Up, and it's actually been up there for a while. I did not realize. And Jurassic Park is winning by a landslide right now. So
wow.
I would like that.
I'm this weekend,
I would like to see if my girls would watch that with me. It'd be fun for me.
I told you, my daughter watched it with me and she loved it, so I think that it'd be fine.
And you get all the Ask Majors anything. Mark, mine is up, or I sent my May. Have you put that up yet?
No, I will do that.
That is up. Brian and Mark will do theirs. There's the Figure Dissecting with D Freedom, Silver Linings with Mark, Let Him Breathe with myself. Oh, baby, he's Happy Hour. Captain Log with Joe Shoes. Who's on the log? Who's going to be on the log? We need someone on the log.
He's been having some good gets of people within the
Jay George was on.
Major
They had a great
Pod,
conversation.
family.
I would love to see Rockin' with Dan on the log.
Oh, wow. He's reached log status. I know he has a hog, but
that's what I'm saying.
He's the hog on the log.
I'd love to see the hog on the log. Can we do that?
Huh.
And they're both in Orlando. Maybe they can do it live.
Oh, yeah. Just sip it on Slurpees chatting. Yeah,
Make Joe Shoes.
Slurpees. Anyone still drink Slurpees? Joe Shoes definitely drinks Slurpees.
That used to be Papa Bear's go-to. You put a little vodka ski in there, a little pregame in the summertime.
Man.
I bet you there's a video on YouTube of Joe Shoes reviewing Slurpees.
Reviewing Slurpee flavors.
My God. But yeah, guys, there's so much cool stuff. The Hart Foundation up, you get the card every single month. Also, May starts the new quarter for the ultimate gift. The previous quarter, it's been ordered. We got to do a little more to it, and then we'll send it out to you guys. So,
nice little hint.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be going out soon. I have most of it here. But we talked about Heat's Happy Hour. I just want to plug this here again. Live episode, Heat's Happy Hour, Friday, May 30th, 9 p.m. Creative Pro Wrestling Academy. Nice little intimate setting. There's not that many seats available, but myself and Heath will be there. He's going to be reading stuff out loud. Special guest Brian, special guest SDL selling your new book. We're hanging out. Garage beer sponsored. We'll have some garage beer. We're all hanging out. Who doesn't want to hang out with Heath?
Going to be a lot of fun, guys. What a hangout.
And then the next night, Creative Pro Wrestling, so you can make it a whole weekend.
Double shot.
Check out Retro Relics. We were telling you.
Is that the one with Jeff Jarrett? Jeff Jarrett's on that
Double
show?
J's in town. And actually, guys, that the Heat's Happy Hour is the only way to see Steph. She's not on the Creative Pro show the next day. So
Wow.
keep that in mind.
All right,
Great little
guys.
weekend.
If you want
What's Heath doing, or is it a surprise?
Heath is working your boy, Bacabella.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the match?
Heath and Dante Drago
Okay.
against Jake and Sidney Bacabella. What I was really looking forward to him interacting with Gallows, but because Heath is a replacement for Gallows, but Heath and him is going to be a pretty epic.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Heath will probably just believe it's real that he worked in the 80s.
I believe he's a former WWF Hall of Fame.
I believe that Heath will believe it. Yeah. You guys got to that's the stuff you guys got to document.
Honestly, that would be great to document that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, you know this guy was in Cauliflower Alley Club, man.
All right, guys. If you want to advertise your product or service, hit us up, majorpodcast@gmail.com. Follow up. Guys, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but this week my parents came to town. I took them to Walt Disney World, and who did we run into? Kirk!
Oh,
We
I
ran
thought
into
he was
Kirk.
your guide.
No, we did no guide. I self-guided this. We just ran into him.
Oh, wow, great.
And I said it was funny. It was Kirk fate because that morning, literally that morning, I had put in the official request for our tour that we're going to do, the major tour, and I
Right.
put in a request for Kirk. I said, Kirk, I just requested you. Make sure you
Yeah,
accept.
push that through, brother.
Push it through. So
Awesome.
I love Disney. My parents came. We went. My dad, too much of a pussy to do Tron.
Really?
But, he bitched out. He did Space Mountain, which I think is way more intense
Yeah.
than Tron. But great
Even
with my parents.
I'm a little bitch, and I feel like Tron, is enticing to me.
It's thrilling. It's smooth. Everything's so smooth.
Yeah,
these
right. It
days.
looks- yeah.
It's smooth. So,
So Kirk recognized you.
of course, bro, come on. Me
Yeah.
and Kirk were like family, bro.
Okay.
Kirk's got a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees.
I just
Awesome.
assume he has
He
a
does. but
family
bro,
every
come on.
day. How's he
He
remember
does.
people?
He's
You
the
know?
best. He's Kirk.
I bet he does have a lot of repeat business, though.
Of course he does.
Right.
I've used them, 4 or 5 times?
But you can request, but it might not work, right?
It might not work. Right.
Right. Okay.
So,
Have you ever had someone else that is even close to Kirk's status for you where you thought about getting him back?
yes.
Yeah.
So this past one, I requested Kirk or Teresa.
Got
Shout out
it.
to Teresa. But Kirk, he's my guy. He's our guy.
I feel like when Broski, when Father Time calls Broski, right, and he can no longer be an in-ring performer, this will be his next move in life.
I would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty much the Kirk for my parents. We went to Hollywood Studios.
Exactly.
We went to Magic Kingdom. We ate at Be Our Guest restaurant. My parents took me to Disney when I was a kid. I was kind of repaying them for all those times. It was great times.
Kirk in training over here.
Kirk in
Right.
training. That's right. So we're doing a little major one. Oh, look at this. Brian, my dad doesn't like the Tower of Terror, just like you. He's a little
Dude,
afraid.
fuck that ride.
Look at this photo.
Smiling.
Do we got a close-up of my dad? Oh, look at that.
That's pure terror. That's like...
That's a big smile.
That's not a smile,
I like
pal.
Bob's
He's
growing out the hair.
growing out the hair. I don't know what he's doing with the hair. I told him most people
It's going to
look
reach
younger.
like George Washington status there.
He's trying to look older. I don't know what he's doing. But yeah.
George Washington.
He's got to be careful there.
Major pod invading Disney World coming soon. Sorry, no tin roof thing. We're planning something for next year. Don't worry. But this week, I also wrestled Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Listen, I knew that Big Rubber guy, if a repaint ever comes out, I just made some gear just in case. So it will fit the Big Rubber guy. Look at that.
Of course.
It's pretty
Hey,
great,
man.
though. That is
Hey.
great gear,
Of
man.
course he's scheming.
I'm scheming. If it happens, it happens. But listen,
If it happens.
nah, listen.
If somebody at the company would push this through, you know.
Well, there's no plan for it now, but initially when I, made this Big Rubber guy, I thought, I'll never wear gear like this again.
Right.
I'm not doing the crown stuff. But so this doesn't have the crown, but it has the same glasses, same mold, same I said to Rick, Rick, make sure everything matches the mold of the deathmatch god. He did. But Maple Leaf, man, incredible show. Sold out. Maple Leaf Gardens. I unfortunately did not win. Josh Alexander dropped me on my neck. But great time. Maple Leaf, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something right because they're not quite an independent, but you watch it, it looks like it's a television show.
It looks great.
Selling out buildings. Only their third show. I mean, technically fourth, but the first and second show were the same weekend, so I count it as three.
I mean,
So
I know Scott Demore very well. He doesn't do things half-assed, that's for sure.
he does not. You know who I did meet? Soul man Ricky Johnson. Didn't even know that he was a wrestler. Soul man Ricky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson's brother.
Yeah.
Kayfabe brother or real life brother?
I think real life, he looked just like him. I think real life brother. Has Soul Man tattooed on the arm. You know his nephew, right? The Rock.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was great
Familiar with
meeting all
him.
those legends there. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
interesting. Maybe I could train Soulman Ricky for a comeback.
I also like Mark Garoppolo's 4th of July exclusive BRG. Ooh. Christy Giovanni says the tour god, Matt Cardona. I like that too.
There it is.
But Matt has
Yes.
to be for like 12 hours or 8 hours. It has to be nice.
Can you imagine him
to
like
people.
being with families and be like, you want to pee? We don't have time for that, pal. You gotta keep going, Jimmy.
Man.
Get you ice cream? What? We don't have time for ice cream.
You guys do anything?
My weekend was a little more blessed, if you will. The beautiful Mackenzie Rose made her first communion.
Oh, wow.
She's growing up before my eyes. Very lovely. Had a huge rager over here at the Myers family home.
Major Rager?
Major rager. So
Was there
very
garage
nice
beer
time.
flowing?
Garage beer's always flowing over here. Yes,
Of course.
Actually, man, people love garage beer. It's a huge hit.
It's a hit, baby.
Civilian dads going, oh, this is great. The DJ was swiping a bunch.
I forced
There you
it
go.
on
Loving
the
it.
father-in-law. I said, you got to try this.
And
He's just like a heavy lager guy. That's all
right,
he drinks.
yeah.
So I was like, you got to try this. He said, it's very light.
Yeah, he'll probably lose 20 pounds just switching over.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I had another run-in with the with old Gold Dust.
Man, what's up with you guys? You guys are
kicked
married
you in
to
the
each
silver
other.
balls,
I saw you
huh?
get kicked in the dick. Yeah, the silver balls.
Silver balls. Yeah, everybody.
Did he have to
posted
ice
it.
down his foot after that?
I did. I didn't realize there were so many major marks in the crowd. It's awesome. There was like 10 different angles posted in our Facebook
really?
group from the thing, but it was fun. Detroit, it was a crazy, weird looking building. Really cool. Looked awesome on TV both
Yeah.
nights. Live collision and
Detroit's a great town, wrestling
it's
town.
also so easy to get to.
Yeah, I
Holy
say Detroit's a
moly.
top 5 wrestling town.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
great.
I like Detroit. All right, so some figure news. Did you see that the Great Muda posted samples of the figures that he has received from Mattel?
I did see this, and first off, Mattel never sent me a box of that many figures, McKeenis. Preferential treatment going on here.
Hey, Chelsea hasn't gotten hers either.
Okay, so I'm talking. There's something going on here,
And
McKeena.
those Monday
but
Night Wars aren't even out yet.
I know. Yeah, he's got a barely street legal Monday Night War figure. But I will say I am impressed that he recognizes the two different ones there. Like he didn't just think it was the same figure.
Right.
But then also
Yeah,
wondering
that's
where the because that's the chase of the Ultimate. So where's the red?
And where's the target? Where's the superstars? He didn't send him everything.
Yeah, man, Bill really got his Muda off, huh?
It's pretty great.
I'm trying. Wait, I didn't even really process that. That's 4 right there, and there's 4 more with the superstars.
The superstars are 2, but if you were to be a loose completist, it's 4. But it's only
So he's
2.
got 8 Mudas.
No, 9.
Oh, 9. He's got the retirement one.
Yeah, 9.
That doesn't even make sense because he did another company, not even WWE.
9
Okay.
great Buddhas.
Damn.
Hey, if he sells.
Bill went to work.
Hey,
Anyway.
before you did, I don't know if we were going to talk about this. Caden says, "Did you see Maven snuck into AEW in Atlantic City? Did you guys
Mark
watch
definitely
that?"
snuck him in.
I did. I saw that. That was
It's
great.
WF for life, bro.
It was pretty
Snuck
good.
him in.
I love that Maven Josh Matthews.
Oh man.
Oh, right.
That interaction. Tough enough, baby.
How
It's
about
great.
Maven KM interaction?
Oh,
I could
yeah.
just couldn't imagine Maven back there because he doesn't know who anyone is. So it's just me like, the math floating around his head, like trying to figure out who's who.
I had a big conversation with him that he cut it all out.
Ah!
What the hell, Maven?
Well, he knew you wouldn't post about it, so.
I know for a fact his editor probably didn't think you were famous enough.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm being serious. Like,
But KM?
I guess you're right.
The Tony Khan interaction was gold.
That was great.
Unbelievable.
That went all over the internet.
Tony Khan
Maven
waited
gets
to get Maven's autograph 20 years ago. He
I
admitted
thought that
to
was a
it.
great story.
So cool.
Right.
Guys, this past week on SmackDown, I don't know if you saw it, but Chelsea Green wore her old school basic gear.
Wow.
Old school, because she's in mourning after losing the Women's United States titles, went all black.
Wow. And that's
So,
the chase.
That's
basic.
the Chase Basic. This is like before she gets fired, Chelsea Green.
Wow.
So you can make a little custom, guys.
Right. All that stuff comes with her elite, too.
Yeah,
right?
that hat and that black shirt come with her elite. So you can be a little custom, if you will.
That's cool. That's a great idea.
Very cool, guys.
What a little
Do
Easter egg.
That. And guys, that was it for follow-up, guys, unless you guys got anything else.
Oh.
Kind of light week, guys. One last thing I want to say. This picture popped up on social media. I think Kinnick posted it. It's from SummerSlam a few years ago. Actually, it's a long time ago. Kinnick has hair. It's an outside.
He looks like even shorter, though, somehow, which is like baffling.
It's an outside SummerSlam meet and greet. Now, that's Brian signing. The question is that me?
I've come to the conclusion that I think it is. I think
it is. I think
Yeah.
I think that's the first major meeting right there. Brian, myself, Kinnick.
And it can only, I guess it could be, no, I wasn't at 09, so it can only be 2010 or 2011, right?
Kinnick doesn't remember meeting you guys?
No,
Or I guess
Kinnick
it could,
does.
it's not 2012.
Oh.
I mean, it could be, but it's,
No. I think this has got to be like 2010
yeah.
or 11. I don't know.
It's, you know what? I'm going to say it's 11 because I wouldn't have a beard in 10.
But you guys aren't together.
No,
No,
not
this
on
is
TV or
this is
nothing.
like the main.
That's another reason why it's confusing. When I saw that picture, I said, why am I sitting with Brian Cage at a WWE signing?
Someone said it was Alex. Right? I can't. The picture's so great. I can't tell if it's me. I think it is because the shirt looks kind of purplish or something I would wear.
That's what's making me think it's you.
You take care, spike the hair.
But
You're
yeah,
hungover, so you're wearing shades.
What a great photo.
Pretty
The first major meeting.
What horrible photo op. Like what you get a photo with the guys, but they don't look?
I think it's just an autograph thing.
That's the way sometimes access is just, that's the way it was. You know?
Sometimes you can't do photo. Kinnick's probably sneaking a photo. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
he's
He's
illegally
sneaking
sneaking a photo, actually.
What a horrible photo.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of great ones with you guys now, so.
Well, he went from that to being on the cover of Spider-Man with us, a comic that I still do not have.
Hey, mine came Saturday right before
Yeah?
my fucking party, so
Okay, so
they're coming.
The Amazing Spider-Man is official #1. Myself, Kinnick, Brian, Mark. You can say maybe he's the Torch, the
Definitely.
Human Torch. Get it now.
Flame on.
Official product, collectmajor.com. The CGC graded one, the 9.8, also available on collectmajor.com. But guys, only a couple more weeks for the major bendy Housens. Danhausen, Mackihausen, Danielle Hausen, fucking Topanga has a wrestling figure. Thanks to Major Bendy.
Man, so I was
Get
thinking about
them
this. Someone
now.
needs to make a shelf of all the like randos that have wrestling figures, like a Gronk and a Johnny Knoxville and Topanga.
Yes.
It's been a couple of the past couple of years. You got, Paul
Joe
Wolferhausen,
Shoes. Yeah.
Zeus.
But get this right now. The pre-order is the order, only available until May 31st. Also only available until May 31st. Guys, Big Rubber Guys expanding past wrestling. We have John Rambo, First Blood. Look at this fucking figure. This is incredible. You can have this as standalone. Put it with your figures. Fits that
Huge.
80s, big, tan, muscular, meaty. You got to get it. John
So
Rambo.
cool. What an honor.
As well as Kurt Sloan from Kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme with the glass wrapped up. Oh, my God. TTD, Brian Beatty, even Deep Freedom with his tweaks. Do an incredible job here.
Man.
Get these Big Rubber Guys. Available. CollectMajor.com. All right, you guys ready for some news?
Let's freaking do it. Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has a new tag team partner, Garage Beer.
Scratch that figurage and scratch that beerage with Garage Beer.
Every tag team needs a name.
And here it is, Major Garage Beer.
Garage Beer is light, refreshing, and made with the highest quality ingredients.
You can choose between the light beer or my favorite, the lime beer.
And with only 95 calories, it's the smart beer to drink.
I'm Brian Myers, the most professional drinker.
I'm Smart Mark Sterling, and I love beer-flavored beer.
And I'm always ready, Matt Cardona. And the Major Garage is always open. Welcome to the news brought to you by Garage Beer. We love a little garage beer. It's summertime. There, Brian's pointing to it. He's doing the Sabu point to the garage beer. We got that big Orlando garage beer secret, even though we told you about it. Shoot that we're doing. It's going to be fucking wild. But every single week, use the hashtag Major Garage Beer. If we choose your picture or video, you will get a prize. Who wins this week?
All right, Major Garage Mean Ding. I found garage beer on sale at the Food Lion I always go to. I got the Ultimate Hogan, Legends, Godfather, and Pay-Per-View Sting. That's a good way to start the weekend.
Hell yeah.
And here's the big picture.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that 24 boy right there.
That's a big one.
Guys, back in the day, I went to my local, I have a great, in New England, they're called package stores.
You packy. You got to go to the pack, down to the
They
packy.
sell beer, wine, whatever, booze. I went to my local. It's great. It's huge. And I said, do you have garage beer? They said they never heard of it. I have not. This was like probably December, November or whatever. I have not been back since. And I went yesterday to get some beers for the Mother's Day barbecue. Huge garage beer. And
Yes.
I'm not sure
Let's
if I
go.
helped facilitate that.
Different side options. I've never
actually
found that
just-
24 like we just saw. That's my next goal, I think.
Just the classic, no limes, but they had a ton.
And 12ers, tall boys.
Just the case of no 12 boys. I didn't, but I didn't look in the fridge. But anyway, the garage beer was flowing at the Mother's Day barbecue that I threw last night.
Garage beers were flowing all weekend long here, pal.
I cannot wait for Orlando, guys. A couple weeks away. It's going to be a wild day. You fans, we'll film a vlog. That's how you guys will know. But it's going to be pretty damn major, pretty damn wild. All right, so some news. The Nerd Closet, you go get your major players, right? But they just showed off Earl Hebner. So I like this style. I like what they're doing. So will this be the first solo release? Because so far they've only done tag teams.
Well, Ellering has got to come
That's true.
in some capacity.
That's true. So
I am curious to see what the package will be because obviously you that box set when there's two.
I kind of
Single
picture
box is kind of bizarre,
I kind of picture it'll be like a half of that, like a
right?
single box.
But maybe
like
some kind of carding to it,
that. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like a Funko Pop style.
like those like Heyman or the Bash of the Beach Hogan style.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like those old Jax exclusive, something like that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
love this style of figure. I like that we have a referee because it could be generic ref, could be, just an Earl Hebner. I mean, it is Earl Hebner. Jesus, but looks really, really cool. So
It reminds me of Mr. Incredible.
It does look a little bit like
I
that.
do like these cartoony style figures. I dig it.
There's like an art to them for sure that's appreciated, right? It's different.
All right, Title Run Toys. We knew about this. We talked to them at WrestleCon. They showed off the artwork for the Jumping Bomb Angels. Holy deep cut.
Deep cut.
But this is for their run-in series, which I don't know if we discussed a few weeks ago. These will be included in the run-in series, which are all very, 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 very limited.
Purposely limited.
Yes, purposely deep cuts. I think this is very deep. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them.
Bro, if you ask me the names of the Jumping Bomb Angels, no way.
No.
What do you mean? It's Norio Tetano
Man,
and
that is a deep cut for me.
Yamazaki.
Yeah, this might be a little too deep for me, but I appreciate it. And we saw the quality of these figures
They're very
at
nice stuff.
WrestleCon. Very, very nice stuff. So I dig it. I have no problem with someone, betting on themselves to make figures of somebody that no one else has made. I like that.
Right.
That's something, I wouldn't make these.
I don't know what the low number is, but I'm kind of under the. I feel like you can make 300 of almost anybody
Yes.
without much risk, right?
Right.
If your factory situation allows you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we did an off the hop rope episode with the Jumping Bomb Angels match.
Oh, they were so ahead of their time, so innovative. I remember as a kid watching their stuff. Like, they were definitely, even back then, like I haven't watched one of their matches probably in a decade plus, but I remember as a kid being super impressed. Like, they did really, really cool stuff.
Next major watch along.
All right. Hastel Toys and Collectibles showed off, I believe it's their 10th Regium figure without one out there for the fans. But here it is. Quote, the Raven Nevermore.
I got, man. Mitch, don't let me down on this one, pal.
It
First off,
looks good.
The clip art Raven on the shirt is killing me. Absolutely killing me.
I think it looks okay.
The clip art Raven?
No, the figure in general.
Oh, okay. It's a render. It has potential. But this is like one of my all-time favorites. A dream figure for me, like a 6-inch modern-day wrestling figure of Raven. Like, he's gonna have to have tats. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that
I'm nervous about the quality of these figures, like what the carding will look like. But he's been improving his game, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
I am.
I would
very
like
hopeful.
though
That's what I'm saying.
one fucking Regium figure in hand.
I was going to say.
Like, why do you need to show your 10th one off?
Has not even not
One
one
has
has
not
even
come
been,
out.
but not even one has been available for like pre-order or anything like that, right?
He put so much up for pre. I'm not sure. That I don't know.
I don't
But
even
one is
think
definitely
I don't
not in
think he
hand.
has.
He's showing off the Godwins, Gangrel, Ahmed Johnson, the Rougeau brothers.
Was there two versions of the Goblins?
No, I don't think so.
I thought there was shirts and no shirts.
No,
we talked about
that's
last week.
that's the retros.
Those are retros.
Yeah. So I mean, this looks great. But it's a render. I want to see it in hand. I want to see how it moves. To me, with these, the packaging needs to be A+, and I'm afraid, based on his other packaging that looks Bush League. But who knows?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm doing cardio, I watch these reviews of this guy does on YouTube. Sorry, pal, I forgot your name. Or like he does like wrestling figure news, basically.
Kyle Peterson?
No, I know who Kyle Peterson is. Thanks. And even he was like, he got to this and he goes, he was like, I don't know what this line is called.
Yeah.
Like, the name stinks.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
There's definitely some meat on the bone. Guys, this one, it rocked the wrestling world. Zombie Sailor showing off Owen Hart.
Crazy.
ProWrestlingTees.com. This was the big secret. I think it
Broke
lived
the
up to
damn
hype.
website.
Made to order, Pro Wrestling Tees exclusive, Owen Hart with the Owen Hart Foundation. I love it. I've seen there's some people who just hate their product.
Oh my god.
I dig it. I see what they're going for with the face. Some people don't like the face.
There's
I
an
like
exact studio shot that's like iconic of Owen. Like,
it. Right. Yeah.
That's the face. The problem is probably they're comparing it to the face that's on the packaging, which is not the same pose, not even
Yes.
close.
So
people are not loving this?
They're bitching about the likeness.
People are shitting on the likeness. They're shitting on like the body, saying like he has big feet. I'm like, you guys are fucking weird, dude.
Holy
Big
shit.
Listen, and I get it. It's all
shit.
personal preference. I know people are gonna say we're biased.
Holy shit! But it's a Hasbro.
I think it. Look, I mean, look.
And
at
I'm
the
sure
side
there's a
profiles.
Ron Rudett sketch. Who made all the Hasbros, guys? It doesn't get more authentic than that.
I know it's the same body as the Bob Holly that's coming out, which I'm fine with. Like that's what Hasbro's
That's what
did.
Hasbros did, yeah. And to me, I like it's like shades of that Mr. Perfect body that basically
Yes.
everyone was making Owen custom with anyway.
Yes.
You know, so it
Yes.
has a kind of like a.
I love it. I think it looks awesome.
Oh, it's so cool. Plus, if you're not going to display it with the glasses on, you're a freak anyway. So
Yes.
that's on you.
I think I'm going to display it how
Like
it
that.
like it with the glasses like up like that.
Yeah, I might.
So
That's
So
pretty
cool.
great, actually.
I grabbed
And
a couple
it's cool
just
that
in
that's an
case
option.
because I'm not thinking this is going to be repainted and put out a bunch of times.
I don't know
considering
about that, but
Yeah?
I don't know. I can't. I don't.
My
know
guess
one
is
way or
no
another.
because it's a foundation. I don't know.
I don't think this is a one and done. I feel like if you get linked up with the Owen Hart Foundation, you got a couple
And
in
you
the
can
back
keep
pocket.
going. I mean,
Listen,
I'm
just,
hoping that's the case.
I'm just
but-
speculating.
Right.
But I do love that this is the closest to like the Hasbro era. I know there's no logos on the side and stuff like that, but guys, like, sometimes even us, we like to be like an armchair quarterback, armchair figure designer. There are certain rules they can and can't do. You can't
Right.
like a Mitch would put King of Hearts with
Yeah.
the WWF logo on the side.
You can't put can't put slammies on his leg there.
Yeah, right. There's certain things you can and can't do, but I think this is incredible. I love it, and I love that the Owen Hart Foundation is behind it. I'm just all in on this. I bought 5 of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Didn't buy that many, but did buy a couple.
Jack
How about
Byron
five?
makes a good point here. I'd be amazed if the pink version doesn't follow, for sure.
I would love that too, for sure. But
Oh, I was under the impression, or my gut is that if they were going to do other Owens, it would be kind of like the Jazwares style, like Japan. I don't think it's going to be other, but who knows? It could just be straight up repaints.
If this is Pro Wrestling Tees exclusive, I bet you Zombie does a pink one on his
well,
website.
I think there's some kind of agreement that it has to be through.
I don't think anything's going to be on Zombie. I think it's all
Yeah,
going to be through. Pro
that's
Wrestling
why I was
Tees.
thinking this isn't going to be a lot of options here. That's,
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know.
going to be all through.
my guess. Yeah.
My guess is that this is all through Pro Wrestling Tees,
yes.
officially licensed by Martha Hart.
Got
Yeah, I
it,
think Pro Wrestling Tees was the connective tissue to make this a reality.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Got it.
Estimated, oh my God, late winter 2025, 2026. Whew. Oh boy. Not guaranteed mint on card. No coupons
Guys, if
allowed.
you're
Care
going
less
to
about
estimate,
that.
I would estimate the later date to there.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
I would say
yeah,
I would say mid 2026 is a maybe.
yeah. But looks awesome. At least I think so. Jazwares showing off the golf cart 3-pack. This looks fucking incredible. Look at this. So cool.
What is the plan for this though? This is like such an old moment,
Jazwares Vault. That's why I like it.
and it's like already like that's happening.
Yep. Jazwares Vault.
Here's the thing.
AEW Archives, which
Okay.
I like that.
Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Here-
That's
yes,
branded.
here's-
Yes.
Why I love this is because in the world of AEW, I feel like this moment stands the test of time.
Sure.
Sometimes you never know, right? I always bring this up, but you think about like the Blood and Guts where Jericho's guys wore the penitentiary gear or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure that is remembered like this is, right? This is like a clip that's in every AEW thing, and
Right.
they bring it up all the time. This is a moment that almost, the first year shaped what AEW was at the time and will be. So I think it's a great thing to immortalize in this, AEW Vault situation. So
Yeah,
I
I
will say
love
this,
like
I
the,
hope there's something they can do to make that mat not an exact re-release.
I think it looks slightly different as is. Like the paint looks a little different. Maybe not though. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think so.
And then what this makes me excited about is if you can make a little pop-up car here, then we maybe get a Sue's van. Right? Sue's van, Chuck and Trent, Vault,
Wow.
something like that.
Ooh.
I really, really dig this. This is interesting, guys. 2018 Spin Master WWE pitch prototype models. Can you believe this? Like, was WWE go to Spin Masters?
I mean, I don't know, right? I don't think so. My guess would be that they were pitching WWE or something, right? And not knowing the legality of their Mattel deal.
I'm not quite sure. Here's the Cena.
Because we know throughout the history of the Mattel, if you don't do the style that Mattel's doing, then like a lot of options are on the table, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
the way that like Jeremy had wicked cool toys doing random WWE stuff.
So this is cool. These are actually on. They were on eBay, or were they just shown off by an eBay seller? I'm not quite sure about that. So these might be on eBay as we speak. So there's a John Cena, and then look at this: the Roman Reigns, and there's an Undertaker. I think they look okay. They look like, if you know what Spin Masters does, it looks like a Spin Masters. It looks like a kid's toy.
Right.
So I don't know exactly why they didn't get made, but there's you see Cena, you see Undertaker.
I would like to think Mattel went,
Yes. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and I wouldn't blame them.
No, that's completely their right.
Yeah. What up, dude? So, pretty cool that those are out there. Mattel WWE Elite Collection Defining Moments Bundle, Ringside exclusive. I'm not sure what this is.
Uh-oh.
Freedom Labs, please hold.
By the way, guys, D's on vacation right now. Ooh, nice hotel room there, pal.
He's chilling at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, damn, bro.
I am on remote assignment, so
Oh, shit.
D's on remote assignment, guys.
Shit.
yeah. So I'm here to talk about some Mattel WWE products. So global brand marketing manager of action figures at Mattel, Steve Ozer, and WWE designer for Mattel, Magic Olmos, were on Fig Guys with Tom and Mike, and they showed off and also disclosed some additional details about some upcoming Mattel WWE product. So Magic they were asked about the push-up hands for the Defining Moment Steve Austin figure that is currently available and exclusive for Ringside Collectibles. They did ask about the push-up hands, and they said that they may be included. So not confirmed, potentially working on it still, but it was on display with that official model. So potentially, if there's the chance that it can be included, it's a good chance. So we will find out as we get because these are EP samples, aka deco samples. So we'll see come the in-package samples that when the official e-com photos come out, e-commerce photos, we'll see if that is for sure.
I don't want to contradict you. I did not see this interview. I don't know if this was after or before. I sent a text to Corporate Steve on Friday, and he told me he doesn't think they'll be included.
Okay, so I think
I don't know when this interview was.
That was on Tuesday. This was on Tuesday, so your word is more official than what was previously.
I really hope they are, because that's the whole moment.
I mean, I would love it, but also, I mean, C-grips will do the job. It's just not going to be ideal.
No, you got to have the push-up with the hands, dude.
I know what you're saying, but like, the focus is going to be on that head, right?
Yeah.
Also, let's not. We don't even have the Brett yet to go with this, so you're not posing it like that anyway.
Okay, fair.
Right?
Fair.
And then more details about The Rock. So the brand new Monday Night War Wave 9 Rock figure that will be coming to Walmart. I think Smith's Toys also potentially carries Monday Night War as well in the UK. That will feature brand new pants. So they were featured on the thing. Just the brand new pants, in case that wasn't evident by the gray model / early model that was shown. And then the Mr. Fuji, it was pointed out by some collectors that the face paint is technically the Killer Khan face paint. Well, Steve did say that will be updated. So there is proof that it was from PR photos, promotional photos.
I don't remember him painting his face for anyone but Demolition.
He did paint it with
there we go.
So
yes.
he will be updated to have a corresponding face paint with the upcoming Elite Collection mainline Demolition figures that will be coming out probably potentially later this year through officially their 2026 items. But so
wow,
looking like that face paint will be updated for final, once again, those are just color renders.
I dig that.
Everything. Yep. So that'll be updated. And the Mr. Fuji does also feature a brand new vest as well. So new parts being featured on him. And probably brand new top hat, brand new cane, specific for him. And I think even the cane holding hands are brand new as well.
Mm.
And then more details about the Hall of Champions wave.
Man, that looks so
I
good.
noticed it as well, but I didn't mention it because we were rapid firing. But the John Cena, this one does ever since they implemented the spinner belt with the spinning plate. There's only been, I think, one item that has had the painted WWE symbol in the center, and that was I think it was the Monday Night War. Not Monday Night War. Ruthless Aggression. Rob Van Dam. So this one will have feature silver deco on that one, but the one for the first time ever is the Ultimate Warrior. That will be the dual-plated Winged Eagle Championship.
Wow.
So that will feature silver deco on that, so you can upgrade all your future figures if you would like to fix up those figures or buy multiples of these and place them all.
That's an expensive fix-up project.
Yeah.
Some additional paint ops were allocated for this so that the Winged Eagle could be refreshed here.
What a perfect Ultimate Warrior. I mean, this is the warrior, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. This is shortly post WrestleMania 6, so all in those promotional photos that were featured across various consumer products across the early 90s.
I love it.
And then no further details were discussed, but it was basically announced that at Comic-Con there will be an official announcement. There will be more a new crossover segment for 2025, potentially exclusive to Target or one of their retail partners. So a new crossover segment will be announced for Comic-Con.
These are always so fun.
Or was the Turtles.
These are fun. You got to think, okay, what could it be? And you got to think outside the Mattel bubble because Turtles is not a Mattel product. So it really could be anything. It could be Star Wars. It could be Jurassic Park. They've done Ghostbusters. They've done He-Man. What could be next? I like that.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for these.
Imagine Star Wars. I'd get them all.
And then the Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero. This will not be in the same wave as the Dominic Mysterio. So that will come in a future wave. Dominic Mysterio is probably looking forward. You'll see probably both of these listed for pre-order this year, but they will not be a part of the same wave. Just to clarify that. The Kurt Angle, I failed to mention this. It was brought up in the thing just about the singlet. So he does have a new torso. I'm not sure if I emphasized on that. Brand new torso for Kurt Angle. This is like early 2000 Kurt Angle when Eurocontinental champion. I'm not sure if that injury tape is going to be there for final. That was only worn once. So technically, I think that was like January 10th Raw or something of 2000. And I don't think he was Eurocontinental champion yet. So potentially that'll be updated and removed from.
Sounds like nothing, but that would really bother me.
Yeah, and
guys, sorry, I got late breaking news. Ravishing Robert will be on the log this month.
Ooh.
Wow.
So Talking with Dan, you're next month, pal.
Talking with Dan to the back of the plane.
So outside of the new torso, he will also have new elbow pads as well with the open. With the tray style, so potentially these can get used for Triple H, even though they kind of do have ones that are existing, but potentially that tool is no longer salvageable, and they potentially refresh that tool with a brand new one. So we will see, and obviously two brand new portraits, an open mouth expression, and more like a snarl kind of expression, like a frowning face, and then that entrance grades portrait that has been around since 2018 or so. And I think the medals are still, existing medals, but brand new deco for Kurt and brand new torso. So nice to see, and potentially this can get refreshed for a mainline release. And also for all you got to do is just swap off the heads, and potentially you have future Ultimate Edition bald-headed Kurt Angles with this new character-specific torso.
Very cool.
And then it was also touched upon on the panel, but I once again failed to mention it because we were going so fast. The Bubba Ray, even though it is showed here on the color render, it would have looked odd, but he will have a soft goods shirt. The camo shirt will be soft goods.
Oh.
But the painted undershirt, the black undershirt, that will be present on the figure. But the camo, that will be.
I don't like
soft.
that.
And I'm not thrilled about that.
Because he didn't wear a tank top.
Yeah, and the articulation is going to be tough otherwise, or it'd have to be a lot of different.
Well, it's an overshirt. He had the
Right.
black undershirt, so that'll be painted in the camo overshirt because it was two
And that
separate
would explain
layers.
why you
Wait,
can't
it
see his
was,
belt buckle
two
and
separate
stuff.
things?
Yeah, it was two separate layers. It wasn't sewn on. The black sleeves weren't sewn on to the black. Weren't sewn onto the camo. It was two separate layers.
You sure about that?
Fairly positive.
I mean, listen, I guess I never really looked at the stitching on his shoulder area, but I always assumed it was like a one-piece thing and he buttoned it up or whatever.
Same.
We'll see. Potentially, if it is all one piece or whatever, including the sleeves, then yeah, I guess potentially didn't have tooling dollars to potentially tool up brand new upper body for him for Ultimate Edition. So using what they have currently existing potentially, or that was a request from
It's going to have to be
any
some
of
really
their
nice
partners.
soft goods to pull that off.
So we'll see how that ends up looking when we see deco samples potentially come Comic-Con, which will be the next event for the public to see brand new samples of upcoming Mattel WWE product. And then current future other Ultimate Edition figures that were also touched upon was the Mattel Creations exclusive Brandy and Cody Rhodes 2-pack.
That's cool.
And they showed off the cape. The cape wasn't. I don't even know if the cape was on the sample that was on display, but it's pretty long cape, just true to how it was at WrestleMania 40.
Jeez.
And
That's
there
great.
is pictures as well of the without the mask, because the mask was on the sample that was on display. And there is a picture of the front of the packaging, the back of the packaging, as well as the shipping box.
And then Brandy has that soft goods jacket too, huh?
Yeah. And the soft goods jacket was also shown as well. That has like a glitter-like fabric for that. And this will be the first Ultimate Edition ones to where both figures are packed inside the inner blisters, so they will not be two separate ones, similar to a Coliseum collection or a Ringside Collectibles tag team bundle. They'll be more in just in their own thing. And then there's the back of the carton.
Man, that looks awesome.
And there is Easter eggs also on the I guess on the cliff. There's you can see Cody Rhodes' mask. You can see a Legacy T-shirt in there. Intercontinental Championship Stardust boot. So little Easter eggs and callback done by I believe Steve said this was art directed by packaging designer. I think George said it was done by an outside artist. But yeah, great stuff. Packaging always killing it. So
That's great.
Can't wait to see what future Mattel creations, because this is now a viable thing potentially to where 2-packs or 2 figures can be packaged as one. So we will see come the future what that holds. And then packaging the shipping box, whatever you want to call it, the outer box for the Ultimate Edition figures, the new Coliseum collection bundle that's coming this fall, or I guess technically this summer. It's going to be coming in probably here soon. Ultimate Warrior and Honky Tonk Man.
Perfect.
Obviously inspired by their
So good.
late 1980s figures.
So good. I love this line.
And Ultimate Warrior is packed out in his pose, similar to the 1980s figure.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Updated cross-sell.
That's cool. How many there's been, huh?
And there's also Sarge, who they can't picture, but they made Sarge as well.
True.
I mean, technically, he wasn't a part of the Coliseum collection.
Oh, come on,
segment.
D.
Come on, D.
Come on. I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
And Honky Tonk Man with a thumb up. Oh, and also the Warrior, they did say, if you can see there, his head is not able to be included because of the hair. It's not able to be included in that bottom carton, so it will be packed out beside the figure.
Okay. Got it.
And Honky Tonk Man's guitar is placed beside of him, so that was also
That's
not able
gonna
to
fit
be
in that little box.
fit in the box. But it will have brand new back plates along the back of the guitar, so they won't be as easily
They
breakable.
heard our complaints on that one.
Sweet. Anything else, D?
Nope, that's it from what was touched upon through Fig Guys. So thanks to Tom and Mike for having
Thanks,
the Mattel guys on.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, D. Thanks for popping
Thanks,
in
D.
from vacation.
Yeah, bro. Good luck
Remote
on your
assignment.
job interview.
I mean, sorry, remote assignment, not a
That's
vacation.
right.
Sorry.
We also got some more late breaking news from Big Shots. They're doing an ultra rare drop. They're doing 54 pieces of John Cena 17-time championship variant, the Big Buddy. And look at it. It's going to be, if you can see this right now, I'm showing the video on my phone. Like Cena with the title on backwards. That's pretty cool.
Whoa.
So
Only
it's not going to be
54 made?
only 54. That's wild. I like that. So 54 in the 16-inch and the 22-inch.
Right.
Each one individually numbered.
That's still
Cool.
like nothing.
That's going to be sell out in a second.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. Thanks, D. We got some ringside news for you. Back in stock. You got main event 156 with Chelsea Green, Joaquin Wilde, Triple H, Finn Balor, and The Rock. Shop Ringside Collectibles. Huge Memorial Day sale going on now. And coming in soon, the Blacklight Jeff Hardy, Ringside exclusive. Best of Ultimate 6 with Razor Ramon and Roman Reigns. Survivor Series Elites with Cody Rhodes, Jade and McDonough, 123 Kid, Bret Hart, and Nick Aldis. And up next is the Ringside Top 10. This episode of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast has been brought to you by Ringside Collectibles, the #1 online retailer of WWE action figures.
Go to WrestlingFigures.com and make a purchase, and when you do, use discount code MAJOR at checkout to save 10%.
It's the Ringside Top 10. You just got 20 spins and your wife is mad again. Ringside Top 10. They got big brother guys and majors you can bend. Ringside Top 10. For over 30 years, John's proved this ain't a trend. Ringside Top 10. Make sure you use code MAJOR for the discount at the end.
Number 10, Jay Uso, Elite 114. Number 9, Great Muda in the red, Ultimate 25. Number 8, Tamatanga, Elite 118. Number 7, Axiom in the blue, Elite 117. Number 6, RVD, ECW Defining Moments. Number 5, Bloody Stone Cold Steve Austin Defining Moments. Number 4, Sabu Bell to Bell, Ringside exclusive. Number 3, Rhea Ripley, Elite 117. Number 2, CM Punk Money in the Bank, Ultimate Edition. And number 1, Jacob Fatu, Elite 118.
Ego's off the list?
He's off the list.
Man, he was very proud to be on, so damn, I gotta tell him, step it up.
Yeah, step it up. All right, up next, weekly purchases brought to you by Major and CollectMajor.com.
Big out of my house? I'll bring my guys. You have yours. I got Sergeant Slaughter. And I got Ric Flair. Woo! Here's Andre the Giant. And here's Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. And Brian Myers. And Matt Cardona.
They're so real. Can you tell the difference?
Roster Cup. Video silence.
Big rubber guys. They're for real. Each sold separately on MajorBendies.com.
Big rubber guys. Collect them all. All right, guys, collectmajor.com. Head on over right now. We got a lot of pre-orders. We got a lot of in-stock stuff. No waiting, no BS. We got the Andre the Giant Major Bendies. Check that out. One of the best Major Bendies we've ever done. We got a bunch of big rubber guys in stock. You got the Brian Myers with the TNA Tag Team titles. Pick that up now. Of course, you have the Deathmatch God, Matt Cardona with the Internet title. There's not many of these left, so make sure you get those on collectmajor.com. We also have in stock the Road Warriors, All Ego, Ethan Page, and Matt freaking Hardy. Get those on collectmajor.com, as well as the Macho Man. Ooh, yeah, Randy Savage. I know we said this is going to be like evergreen, but I think once this one goes, that might be it for a while. So
No, we got to reorder it, but we'll change the packaging because of the rebranding. So
right. Well, that's what I'm concerned about. I don't want to have to get another one. If it's the same thing, I'm not sure.
just for you? Not worried about the company or creating awareness of this awesome toy line we have.
All right. And woo, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, big rubber guy with the big gold. Get it now. Mark's got it right there in hand. So check those out.
It's a Desker.
And of course, we got the pre-orders. We got all the major housings. We got John Rambo. We got Kurt Sloan. So check those out. CollectMajor.com. And in June, guys, the big rubber guys in June, it's going to be a hell of a lineup. 4. I'll say that. There's going to be 4 in June. So check those out. All right, guys, every single week, use the hashtag CollectMajor. If we choose your picture or video, you will get a prize. Who won this week?
Collect major winner is DC. Dennis, CGR 5795. I love the way these big rubber guys look on the wall, especially their exclusives. The Bloody Harley is my new favorite figure. Collect major, nailed it. Boom. Look at that.
I love that. Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. All right, I'll go first. I want to say thank you to Jason Sharp. I got these, the newest superstars.
Oh,
I believe these are the newest ones.
I don't think I've even seen those.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Jake the Snake. I believe there's a chase. This is the one with the greenish, yellowish tights. So if there's a chase and anyone has it or can spot it in a Walmart, please get it for me. I need it. And Eddie Guerrero in his LWO t-shirt. I'm a sucker for all these superstars. I know, Brian, you tapped them.
I love them. I just don't. I can't have them in my collection. I just don't
well, I mean, guys, the toy room, it's coming soon. So there's a lot of things that might get cut. You know, because I don't want it. I don't want to fill it up completely. I don't want to max it out right away because we have, the rest of my life. And also, I don't want it to look cluttered. I want it to look kind of museum quality. So some things, like the Superstars line, when push comes to shove, might get cut completely. But as of now, I'm in. I
didn't even know it was on the potential chopping block there.
It really, unless it's like a lot of stuff's on the chopping block. A lot of stuff.
Oh, shit.
Obviously, Hasbro, never. LJN, never. Even Mattel Elites, never. But like Jack's Ruthless Aggression, maybe on the chopping block. These superstars, maybe on the chopping block.
Wow.
There's only so much that can fit in these things.
Well, I got somebody who's definitely not on the chopping block.
Oh, wow.
Mrs. Cardona. Chelsea Green. This is like the rarest basic in a long time, right?
And that's not even the chase.
That's what I'm saying. This is not the chase. Instantly sold out at Ringside to the point where I'm VIP at Ringside. I couldn't even get one. Let her breathe. Obviously, you dorks went nuts about this because she's in Ghostbuster. Oh, I love the shush finger. That adds so much,
Yeah, it really does.
to a basic where you can do something like that,
Great likeness. Way better than the one that we were just showing earlier with the old.
Well, because she has those crimped hair that nobody can really recognize.
I actually don't love this likeness.
Really?
Yeah, I don't love it.
I don't dislike it. I think it's good though.
It's fine. It's not excellent.
But pretty damn cool. Congrats, Chelsea. But yeah, people are going nuts about this because of the Ghostbuster crossover. Even though I think Matt has said on the show that the significance is her wearing it one time on main event.
Yes.
Which is
that's
really goes
me.
to show you,
That's fine with me. Well, speaking of Chelsea Green, I picked this up, guys. Finally.
Oh,
the big shots.
Damn, I'm going to have to get that for
Chelsea
the girl.
Nice.
Green. So when she's away, I get to always sleep with Chelsea Green. I got one packed in my bag. The hot mess Chelsea Green in the hat. What I love about this so much is that before Big Shot signed WWE, they signed the Deathmatch King Matt Cardona. So in the same Big Shots universe,
So you guys can be together.
you have a Deathmatch King Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. Same artist, same everything. So it really goes really cool. She's got the hat.
Pretty cool.
I don't like the gear, but this was Chelsea's choice. So, Big Shots did right by her.
You think she would conference you on these things by now?
No, she did. I said, I don't like that gear.
So
wasn't really up to
your
me.
opinion didn't even matter.
Well, I was the middleman.
Yeah.
I was the one sending the pics. So
Got it.
there it is, the hot mess, Chelsea Green. I love Big Shots. They do some awesome stuff. They're pricey, but they're worth it.
I
I
mean,
think
they're
these
the
are
best ones doing the buddies right now, that's for sure.
Best buddies since the original Tonkas, in my opinion.
Anybody have any of their kids that are actually throwing these around, like wrestling them? I'd love to know.
Well, I told you, my kids I saved, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even know if I should just sell them. They just sit at my storage unit. I have the 8 original Tonkas.
Right.
Mint condition that I've saved literally for my children to play with. And then they were here for maybe less than a month, and I was just so uncomfortable with the idea that they were throwing around, slamming, getting, wiping their chocolate fingers on.
Oh my God,
I was like,
there's
this
no
is
way.
these are $400 pillows. What are we doing?
Right.
Might be more
We
than
used
that.
to
Yeah.
play with them for real.
Oh,
Elbow
dude,
drops, stuff
I
like that. But
have
these big
vivid
shots,
memories of spending an entire Friday night in my basement wrestling the Tonka.
yeah.
With somebody.
but these big shots are even bigger, are even sturdier.
Yeah,
I feel like you jumping off the couch,
more
big
plump. You
elbow.
could really beat them up and hurt yourself with a baseball floor.
Those Tonka ones, eventually, they got flat. I don't know
real
if these
flat.
could ever get flat.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, don't say never, but yeah.
Like my LODs are pretty flat.
Yeah.
I do need to upgrade to some fluffy LODs.
I got them all in like vacuum sealed bags in my storage unit.
Oh, so they must be really flat then.
I don't know
They're
what
vacuum sealed.
to do with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, very cool.
Anything else, boys?
I got
Nothing
some
for
more
me.
stuff. I got another Chelsea Green card. This is one of those Travis Scott cards that were at WrestleMania, the Cactus Jack cards.
Oh, okay.
This was a very expensive card.
Can someone explain to me why Travis Scott calls himself Cactus Jack?
I can't be the one to explain it to you.
Anyone in the chat?
This is 20 out of 20. This is a limited drop.
That's a rare boy card, pal.
Yeah, Cactus Jack on the back here. I don't quite know.
Like, why is that his like
I don't
handle?
I don't know.
And I saw you had that whole like T-shirt launch everyone was going crazy about, but I
Yeah.
just don't exactly understand.
Not quite sure. You guys
I
don't have
got a
anything
fun
else?
one here. Retro Remix 3D
Okay.
sent me over this bad boy. Take a look at that.
That's pretty sick.
How cool is that? It comes out. It's 3D printed. That's the stand. It sits on its own. It's pretty thick.
Wow.
Look, it even has the, if you want to get real technical, it has the chocolate on the back.
Crap.
That's pretty sick.
Brian F. and Pillman.
He was
And
going to
here
send
is-
me the Ric Flair, and I forgot to send him my address. I got to
Here's
do
the
that.
best part came with a note. Hey, Brian, I want to say thanks again for the kind words on the pod. Hope you dig the Pillman bar print. By the way, I'm including Mark's because he never sent me his address. Must still have book too good itis from Tony. So
God, I definitely meant to. Ooh.
That's cool.
Oh, man, I love
The
that.
Nature Boy.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going
Thanks,
to put
Tony.
that
Yep.
in my thing. Holy crap.
Retro Remix 3D. I'm like contemplating what else we could make with this technology because it's pretty freaking cool.
I mean, we could make major pod ones of us.
Right.
Hit me up.
To
I
be
like
continued.
that. To be
Pretty
continued.
great. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in my gym.
This is my birthday week, and my cousin Jacqueline sent me this. Look at this, guys. The Little People E.T. We both love E.T. I love this Little People thing because they're making like all stuff for adults. Like, no, I guess maybe
I know.
kids are playing with
It's
this.
like, because your kids are so young playing with those, you can just trick them into being like, you can play
Right.
with this.
So,
Well, I mean, E.T.'s like, not adult, but Macho Man. Retro
I mean, yeah, I had the
Man.
Macho Man Warrior one that I slipped to my kids. You know,
but they have like friends. They have so many crazy
Friends.
things. You know.
friends, real toyetic people
Yeah.
to make too. Huh?
So I have a little ET, collection. So this will definitely go there. So I like these Little People thing, but I don't want to go nuts with these because
Yeah.
it's almost like Funko Pop style. Like, when do you stop?
It is very Funko Pop esque, but
When
still
do
fun.
you stop?
Shit, their likenesses are probably better than a Funko Pop.
All right, this was a big boy purchase, guys. Now,
boy.
it's Disney. There's a Club 33. There's Club 33s in Orlando, but the real one, like the original, is in Anaheim at Disneyland. It was Walt's Club. Very, Google it. I'm not going to give you the whole history lesson, but the clubs have exclusive merch. And the club in California, they are celebrating I believe it's the 30-year anniversary of the Indiana Jones ride. So there's a lot of Indiana Jones merch. It's exclusive to the club in Disneyland. So
Whoa.
the only way you can get it is if you're a club member or a club member breaks the rules and puts it on eBay. And luckily for me, there's a lot of club members breaking the rules because there are things that
Isn't
have
that,
been
like,
put on
risky
eBay.
business, or they can't prove
It's very
it.
risky business. But check
Yeah.
this out, guys. Check this out. It is an Indiana Jones hat that says Club 33.
Whoa.
So as the indie god, look at that. As the indie god, I had to have this in my collection. Now the ticket, whatever this thing is, the barcode
Price tag?
That's what I was looking for. It says $95. I spent like 5 times that amount on this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Because it's
So-
gone.
Well, it's just the only way to get it is to be a member. Anyway, you can't get this anywhere unless you're in Club 33 in Anaheim. So, and last but not least, we talk about this all the time. Like when people say, "Oh, toys are for kids, toys are for kids." I think this Little People thing proved it. But if that didn't prove that it's not just for kids, this certainly is. Check this out, guys. I don't even know if I can show this whole thing.
The freak is that? Oh,
Dante's Inferno from Beetlejuice by NECA.
are you setting that up?
Oh, I'm setting it up, baby.
That's
I can't even
cool.
have it all in the shot.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Holy crap.
NECA makes some of the coolest things ever. Things that you never thought would happen, that never thought would be made.
Yeah, the play sets are just
Broski, you should make a YouTube video building that, I think.
I think I'm going to build it and take some pictures, put us in it. This is incredible. I love it.
That's great.
Now, I just need... NECA is very smart with what they do is they didn't give you the Beetlejuice figures you really want first, which I'm a little nervous about. Because NECA also has a tendency to not finish a line.
Super 7 style?
Super 7 style. So, like, for instance, the most iconic Beetlejuice looks, like the pinstripe, the wedding outfit, they don't make in ultimate form. Now, people are going to say, yes, they do. No, that's from Beetlejuice, the sequel. That doesn't count. I want it from Beetlejuice.
This is deep.
It's very deep. I think if you're a Beetlejuice fan, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm very excited to set up this Dante's Inferno. I mean, what has NECA given us? They've given us the Ninja Turtle sewer, the Ninja Turtle street. Now this Dante's Inferno. I love it. I love NECA.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. That's all
I had such a light week. Yeah, nothing. Like we said earlier, I think there's a little lull in the ringside deliveries, but it's going to pick up speed pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
All right, up next, major market purchases of the week. Here we go. All right, guys, major market purchases of the week. Juan Carlos Alvarado. Mark, pick me. Now that I have your attention, a couple days ago, my son's school held a gala for the parents celebrating the end of the year. It was a prom theme. My wife and I had never been to prom, so it was special for multiple reasons. When we arrived, I saw that a silent auction was being held, and this item immediately caught my eye. Signed Sammy Sosa baseball. Growing up in the 90s in Chicago, Sammy was the guy, the reason I'm a diehard Cubs fan and why I love baseball. I looked to my wife and she gave me the okay to bid. All night I kept checking in. Finally, in the last few moments before closing, another person was going to place a huge bid on it. My wife, being the awesome wife she is, walks up and tells the guys, "You better not." My husband has his hopes on landing this. The guy smiled and walked away, and I am happy to say I'm a proud owner signed. Slamming Sammy Sosa ball. I also landed a signed Devin Hester jersey, who is my all-time favorite Chicago Bear.
Man, Sammy's autograph is weirder than I thought it was.
There's a weird line in it. It looks like
but I'm looking it up as you're talking, and that's what it looks like.
Huh. Look at this. I've never seen this. Mike LaPuma is back. Got this Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling Pesto Magics set from 1986 for my collection. Played this long game on this as I've only ever seen two for sale, and they were over $100. Got this from Mercari for $16. Guessing the lady didn't know what she had. The box is extremely great condition, and the fact that it's a 39 years old blows my mind. Also bought 2 tickets for both nights of SummerSlam Major Mark Hangout.
Oh, he's
that
in.
Thursday night. Pretty cool. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Glitter
actually.
transfers. There you go.
What?
I'm transferring glitter over here.
Adam Resendez, one piece I got from Mania 41 week. I finally got the frame. I got to meet Jade at WWE World. I had this 8x10 I've been wanting to have signed by both for a long time. And I know the rules said no items from other promotions. So I asked the worker. He stared at it for a second and pondered. He finally said, "Yeah, that's fine." So they slid it to Jade, and she got very excited. She said, "Oh, Mark, I miss Mark." I told her we need a reunion of this iconic team. She replied with, "We do." She started to sign it and stopped and said, "Oh, crap, what am I doing?" She was writing a message to Mark thinking it was for him. But I told her it was fine and go ahead, write whatever. And I was going to see him later that evening at the live show. And I told her I would deliver the message. I thought her writing the message to Mark made it such a unique piece.
It does. I mean, that makes the whole thing.
Had a good story behind it. And Jade was such a nice person to talk to. This will now be displayed in my toy room. And we'll look to add her figure and Mark's AW figure next to it when it releases.
Awesome. I wouldn't have went with silver on silver.
Yeah.
But other than that, amazing.
I get it, though.
Alrighty.
I wonder if those things can you even slip them the pen you want. I don't know. You have to ask Chelsea.
All right, this looked cool. Ryan J. Garza picked up these new mini spotlights for my set. They'll do for now,
awesome.
but I think I need
That's
6
cool.
more.
Wow, I dig that.
Yeah, I thought
Man,
that
the
was
whole
awesome.
thing is so cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Brian Harris says, continuing my Survivor Series 93 shrine, picked up this from the original artist. Can't wait to
Damn.
frame it and hang it.
That's an iconic pay-per-view ad, I'll say.
So good. Look at
Dude,
Undertaker
I
eating.
still want that Undertaker figure where he opens the coat, got the USA flag.
If they can find a cool way to execute it, yeah, for sure.
They could definitely do it.
Yeah.
This
Hardy
is a
Heft.
wild one.
Hardy Heft is back, branching out in finishing HTF sets now, and I stumbled across on eBay not 1, not 2, but 3 Rock vs. Stone Cold mailaways from the JCPenney catalog. Best part, it was $60 for all 3 of them.
Damn.
Each set came with an exclusive Rock and Stone Cold figure.
It's
And
cool
I had
because
those.
if you look at the packaging, it's like when the bridge scene, but just the figure's loose doesn't really show that at all.
Right.
They should have included some sort of accessory or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a river.
It's a half-ass exclusive, but I've said many times on here, man, when those JCPenney things, I would put the fear of God in my mom saying, like, you got to get these because you'll
Yep.
never get them again. Like,
Exactly.
if you don't order this for me for Christmas, it's gone forever.
That's right.
Whoa.
This is
so
wild.
Dylan
Wild.
Pick, he said he just joined, by the way. And
Congrats.
This was like his first pick. Last week, I went to see Revenge of the Sith at the cinemas for its 20th anniversary, and it got me itchy. 20 years Revenge of the Sith? Oh, my God. I had already started this mint on card collection, as this is one of the toy lines of my childhood, but after seeing this film again in the cinema, I jumped straight to eBay to see what was on sale. Turns out I found someone selling what seemed like the vast majority of this Star Wars collection and felt obliged to make an offer and see what response I got. We met each other halfway on our offers, and all of a sudden, 54 mock Revenge of the Sith figures turned up at my door. The Lava Vader carding combo just makes me think of Toys R Us when I was a kid. I know 4-year-old me, 2001 baby, would be overjoyed knowing I did this.
I did have these, and I did collect them in on card. And in the latest,
Did we like live together when these came out?
no,
I'm having like a flashback of
2001.
no, that's not 2001. Is it 2001?
Oh, no, sorry. 2001 to 2006.
Yeah, so we were in developmental. I feel like maybe you
4
cared
years
about them
born
then.
in
I don't know. That's my only like kind of takeaway.
2005 to
Maybe.
2006.
Anyway, what I was going to say, people in the latest Ask Me About Anything asked me if I ever would get into these or rebuy these because I'm feeling nostalgic, and my answer was this: I got nostalgic with the Phantom Menace. I got some of those. Attack of the Clones, I did collect those. I could get those, but here's the problem: if I got Phantom Menace, if I got Attack of the Clones, if I got these, and I have obviously the the Power of the Force trilogy, they made Force Awakens figures like in that scale, but then they stopped.
Right.
So like they didn't make episode 8 and 9 like that. So I wouldn't want to, you know what I'm saying? If they made 8 and 9, then I could pick and choose and try to do it all like that.
Right.
But and if someone can tell me I'm wrong, please do. But I'm pretty confident that they stopped that style and just did like the Vintage Collection and Black Series. And I don't know what you want to call that style, like a basic 3 3/4 style.
I mean, you wouldn't just count the vintage collection as...
No, because it's not. Those are not. They can't
not
go
as-
with these. There's way too much articulation, and I
it,
don't
got
do
it.
vintage collections.
Yeah. All right, last thing, major display of the week, guys. I thought this was super cool and unique. This is from Chris
Very
Murphy. With doing the VHS display of Survivor Series 97 a few months ago, I've gradually started chipping away at a display. Here's the progress so far of the shelves showing VHS and specific matches. I love this.
This rules.
It looks like the ones on the bottom are in a... Oh, they're all in a case.
They're all
okay,
in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Except
a
for the
glare,
Stone
not a
Cold
glare.
one.
It looks awesome.
Now that perfect isn't. I see what he's doing. He's going with figures that look like it, but that's not the perfect
Why not?
because they never made a SummerSlam 91 perfect. If you really want to get technical, you know
What's
what I'm saying?
that perfect then, do you?
I don't know what. That's just a Mr. Perfect. I see what he's doing. He's trying to make it work, but it's not. That was not branded as a SummerSlam 91 perfect.
Right, but it's the exact.
No, and Mr. Mr. Perfect had short hair at 91.
Okay, I'll give you that, but
I love the Hogan one on the Hogan one.
I love first of all, I love everything they did here. I think it's really, really cool.
Poor Shamrock. What was he wearing in your house that he got cut?
I do love that one.
I feel like Shamrock's in all black and in your
I
house.
need that
Is he?
VHS.
But man, really, really cool. I think that's great.
All right, moving on.
All right, guys. Up next, the incarnation of domination, the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, Sabu.
The incarnation of domination. The incarnation of domination.
Welcome to the incarnation of domination, Sabu. This past week, yesterday, I guess, Sabu passed away. I was shocked. I'm sure everyone was. We just saw him at WrestleMania week a couple of weeks ago. He just had his last match.
Yeah, I was. I think we're at like 24 hours for me exactly to digest this information. I was out to eat with the girls for Mother's Day and just kind of really blindsided me, man. Really, really shook me up a little bit, you know. Kind of, you know, was having a really almost like majestic family day, and it was not something I was expecting. And I think a lot of that comes from just Sabu's become such a mythical figure in pro wrestling, and he's one of those guys that's like, if he didn't die already, this guy's never gonna die. You know what I mean? Right. That's the way you looked at him, right? That he was like invincible. So, and immediately my mind went to, okay, hopefully this isn't true. But I went to, you know, our mutual friends and sources that I knew would know, and they confirmed it. So, tough one.
Brian, my question for you is: you mentioned in the chat yesterday, you know, he like surprised you on your birthday, coming to your birthday party one time recently. When did you become like actually like good friends with him?
So I will say, like, I guess one of the things that was very special to me was that we became genuine friends.
Right.
And Broski and anyone who knows him can attest to this. Like, his exterior is very hard to break through.
Yes.
You don't know what mood he's in or what state of mind he would be in. And it was like almost like I had met him 35 times and got a different Sabu every time. You know, whether that was pleasant or unpleasant and everything in between. And then we did the Jericho Cruise is really the one that like broke the ice like initially.
Right.
And then I told him I'd love to have him at Creative Pro, and then you know, about 2 years ago he came in and it was like it was just such a wonderful experience, man. And I could tell the whole story if you guys want to hear it. I mean, you know, he lived in Vegas, so I parlayed his booking with a K&S signing, you know, obviously to help, you know, have him make the most amount of money possible. And because he's from Vegas, he would have had to come in Friday to be here to sign Saturday morning for K&S, work Creative Pro Saturday night, go on Sunday. So, maybe I botched that. Maybe he was coming in. He had to be coming in Thursday night to sign Friday and then be there Saturday, I think, because it was definitely a school day. So he hit me up that Thursday and was like, the text just said, "I fucked the booking." That's all it said. I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's explained to me that he just missed his flight. He had like a 11 a.m. from Vegas to JFK, and he just missed it. He said he gave me no excuse, no reason, just said I missed it. I said, "Well, what are you gonna do now?" He said, I'll try to get on the next one." So he went 11 a.m. and he sat there on standby all day at the Vegas airport and got on like a 12 o'clock flight. Like, you know, so you're talking, he's been there, you know, whatever that is, 13 hours or whatever. Takes
So
a red eye
Yeah.
to New York. The K&S guys were supposed to get him, and he's supposed to go there to sign. And they said, well, we can't get him now. We have to like go to our like regular jobs and all this shit, you know? And he was going to, you know, it's just the timing didn't work out anymore. And I said, well, I got to do dad stuff. I got to take the kids to school. I said, the earliest I can be there at JFK would probably be like 9:30, 10 a.m. And he landed at 6 a.m. or whatever. So he's done an insane amount of time in an airport by himself. I'm thinking like potentially he could be inebriated.
Oh my God.
And at the very least in a terrible mood or whatever, right? You know, he's been not sleeping and everything. So I'm like preparing for the worst of the worst to come grab him at JFK. Gets in my car. Couldn't have been the opposite,
Right.
Just the best of spirits. Took him to a diner. He loved going to New York diners and getting meatloaf. That was his thing. And it was like so early. The guy's like, we don't have meatloaf fired up yet. So he's pretty disappointed about that. He got it after the show.
Yeah.
At another diner. But it was just awesome. And then we ate. Then we still had so much time to kill before he was supposed to do this virtual signing. I said, dude, you can come back to my house. I made him coffee. We hung out. I brought him into my toy room. That's where that picture's from that a lot of the major marks have seen. Like he literally saw my ECW collection, in here. I just hung out. And we just had a lot of like quality one-on-one talking to each other time in that time frame. He was unaware that Matt and I like knew Melissa and spent a lot of time with Melissa Coates, who was his girlfriend that unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and he's definitely very heartbroken about that, and I could see that, and we talked a lot about that. And then from that weekend on, I mean, I'm not kidding, he would text me all the time, check on me. I was going through our texts last night. I couldn't sleep before bed, and I was just scrolling through the texts and just kind of riding the wave of tears and laughter and stuff, the things he would do. He just randomly send me a picture of his dog or but then also say very genuine things. Like, I had one that just said unprovoked, like Happy New Year to you and your family. I love you, brother. Like just from Sabu, somebody I just never thought I'd win over, in that regard. He came to my birthday last year, but he wasn't supposed to be in town, but he went out of his way to get back to surprise me, like super late night at the Nerd, and we all had this like big fire up, like all the TNA boys and stuff, and we literally hung out with him until the sun came up in Vegas. Something I'll never forget. And we have so many awesome pictures of him, but he's just one of those guys, man. Like he's a complete one of one, man. And I think first off, he probably would hate all this love he's been getting on the internet and stuff, because he just wasn't like that. He's so like selfless and cool. He probably think we're all just being a bunch of pussies, crying
I will say
about him.
Been, like you said, he's been getting so much love, and I hate that people get their flowers after they die, but I do kind of love that, he started as this like underground, like, cult classic, and he like kind of unfortunately ended that way, where people are now appreciating him now. And I think obviously, whether it be fans, wrestlers, he changed this business. I think I read something from Tommy Dreamer. Like he made the table spot famous. He made the lights off, lights on, the lights go. It's all Sabu.
Right.
Like that's all Sabu. And even me, like if you didn't grow up in the 90s, I don't think you can really understand what Sabu was. You can go watch video and tape now. It's not the same. It was like the aura, like the reading about him in the magazine. I'm talking like pre-internet. Like reading about him in the magazines or seeing, then eventually on the internet, like hearing about him, seeing videos, seeing clips.
Even
he was just one of a kind.
I was YouTubing everything Sabu, all day yesterday and last night. Meltzer put up a thing about his passing, and even something he said really struck with me, and he's right. Like Terry Funk stole from Sabu and like borrowed, and also like parlayed like Sabu's like you said, aura and street cred that he had. He used it to re-get himself over it late in his career and reinvent. Like he stole some of that, like from Sabu. It was a guy who was a generation like younger than him, So that's how like influential it was, what he was doing, Just the guy. I mean, he gave it, gave his all to the business,
He certainly did, and we were on the roster.
And certainly, self-destructive and had, he wasn't perfect by any means, but that's I wrote a thing about him. He was unapologetically him, and that's kind of what I think was so charming about him.
Yeah, my favorite thing is that he no-showed his own Hall of Fame ceremony.
That's like
he just didn't feel like going.
That is Sabu in a nutshell. 100%. And if you sat around, with the boys and started telling Sabu stories, everyone has a Sabu story, and it's never like the same or whatever. It's something wacky he did, or just genuinely, really, nice thing he did for somebody or something, that just, helped a lot of young guys, for sure. He mentored a lot of guys that, broke in and stuff. And
we were on the roster at the same time in ECW, and like we were not, I certainly would not consider myself friendly with him. He was just, I don't want to use the word a mess, but he was kind of like a mess, so I didn't even when I saw him at conventions and stuff afterwards, I never really like, oh, there's Sabu, I'll be honest. But then it was that Jericho cruise. Like I remember before the Jericho cruise, or before we had as crazy as it sounds, there was like a Jericho, it was hosting something like Deathmatch Wrestling, and I was up there with Sabu and like Luther. And just seeing Sabu beforehand in the green room, I was like, when did Sabu become normal? Like he was like talking to me, and like ever since then, we've had a different kind of relationship. Nothing like what Brian has with him, like we weren't exchanging texts or anything. But
I do think the heartbreak he experienced from Melissa really changed him for sure.
Right.
And that's that same spirit, that Jericho cruise. I said to Dylan, I said, because Swago was on the cruise too, I said, man, like it is like a dream of mine to like selfishly have Sabu at Creative Pro, just if it's one time, you know, like I just got it. I would love to just to experience that. And I said, man, that was like the most clear-minded he'd ever seen to me. And I was like, man, I got to strike now. So was within the year that we had him.
And we just had him on our live show. He was super cool. I want to put that video up for people who didn't see it. Like, just he's just so quick and just funny and like
so funny.
He was just one of a kind. And of course, I think it's almost bittersweet that he goes out with that. Like, I'm so glad he had that last match and it delivered, and it was so Sabu. It was
so Sabu, and it's so going to be talked about forever and ever.
Like, what a perfect last match for Sabu.
I gotta say, I'm very grateful that and he did not like public speaking and shit, and he did our show.
Yeah,
we convinced him to do that and talk, like, especially that. He's talking about his merchandise and toys and things like that. Like definitely not things in his wheelhouse that he's comfortable with. He was so funny and cool, and having garage beers with him and stuff. And I'm just very grateful that we had that weekend with him. Yes. I did sneak into his last match. I got there pretty much just for that. Watched that whole thing live, from the balcony in the Palms. So, and someone put this in the group. It's almost like Ultimate Warrior passing-esque.
I really think I said that to Brett Lauderdale yesterday.
He's being like celebrated, and then he's gone. Like, it's like he had this last match. Tomorrow, the Dark Side of the Ring is going to air, all about the Sheik.
Yep.
That he's basically, the whole episode's about basically Sheik and stuff. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, rest in peace, Sabu. I mean, we can go on and on. So many. Now, I'm just sitting here like, I had that ECW, that famous shirt. Like, Sabu was just, if you were a teenager in the 90s, like, he was, I'm sure adults too, but as a teen, like, he was the man.
Do you remember, like, so when we were on the roster with him, it had to be like less than a month. D or somebody could fact check that, like, because we debuted May 1st, right?
Yes.
Or May 2nd?
May 1st, I believe.
May 1st. And then I don't know if he lasted
Maybe
a
it's
month.
the 2nd. I remember seeing him in the airport one morning drunk. He's drinking milk or something like that.
Bro, this is what I was thinking about. Because that was like our first like interaction with him.
Yeah.
Was like 5 a.m. at the airport. It couldn't have been the first week because we drove to the when we debuted. So that's impossible. So it has to be within that month. We're at the airport, and he had a milk in one hand and a beer in the other hand. And he was being so nice to us, like telling us, you guys did a good job yesterday, and like talking to us. And then he kind of like did like and like tilted, and the beer started just perfectly pouring on my dress shoe. And this is like back then, like where you dress like you're going to Catholic school, like Johnny Ace biz cash rules. Shit. And it's just pouring on my shoe. And then he finally realized, he goes, oh shit, that's a shame. He goes, not about your stupid fucking shoe, that I spilled the beer.
Man.
D. Giovanni says he was May 16th, 2007 is released.
Oh, God. So maybe that might have been
him.
Holy shit, that might have been it. Yeah.
That might have been the week.
That might have been it, man.
Oh, wait.
Shit.
That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Man, just, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just, forever grateful that I got to get to know him the way I did, like on a different level. And it really is heartwarming seeing all like the unbelievable outpouring of people posting about him, and pretty incredible. Like I said, everyone has a story, man. Like everyone.
I originally at Hammerstein Ballroom this year was supposed to wrestle Sabu in his last match. I even reached out to him, but he turned it down. He said he can't do it, physically, blah, blah, blah. But then he went on like some radio show or podcast and said he was going to do it against me. I'm like, what the hell? Listen, I'm glad it was Joey. That was the way it should have, because Joey is the new Sabu.
I don't want to break Joey's heart, but I know for a fact that match got Sabu like itchy, and he was going to try to take some more bookings.
Oh, I know. I know for sure.
So, like, of course he was, but man.
Man. I wonder, I hate like sharing like personal stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to read all the messages, but yeah, I pitched it to him that for me to be the last match,
right?
But it just didn't, it didn't work out. It wasn't meant to be, and I think it was meant to be the way it happened. The spring break, it was sold out. Just the aura about that match.
I'm so glad I saw it with my own eyes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of when you talk about stories around the WrestleMania weekend, like that was one of the more anticipated things,
right.
Events. It was one of the best-selling shows outside.
Bro,
of WrestleMania.
he sold out the Palms. Like TNA's done several pay-per-views there. We didn't sell it out with the entire roster.
Yeah,
he sold out the Palms just on the idea that
Yep.
Sabu won last time, and people wanted to pay their respects.
It's so, that match was so Sabu. And one day Joey Janela's got to tell the story about the lead up to the match.
I've always said about Sabu's wrestling, like he's never messed up in his whole career, because that's just his style. It's everything has a 50-50 chance of going awry, but it doesn't, because that's just what he does.
Check this out. He says his last match was 5-1-7, your debut.
Holy cow.
So it must be the next week he's there.
Right. He's just there, and then gets like, oh yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't know if I should even say this, but I remember him being like, this place, you'll be all right here. This place used to be cool. Then they started fucking drug testing me all the time.
I shouldn't say this either, but we're on stage to the live show, drinking garage beers. As he's leaving, he goes, this beer fucking sucks. Like, that's my last memory of Sam.
Oh, man.
This beer fucking sucks.
He's the best. The fucking best.
Holy shit. The beer does not
we prepared a little incarnation of domination here. Sabu, very toyetic, had a long history of figures.
I will say this also. I was thinking about, man, I probably have the only autographed Kyle Peterson History of ECW book signed by Sabu in the world.
Wow.
I'll tell you that.
Wow. All right, what do we got first?
So the first one is the ECW Series 1. To me, when I close my eyes, I think of Sabu. I think of the green. I don't know if it's because of this figure.
It's because of this figure, but yeah, same. Yeah,
it's iconic. This is a
iconic look in that. And, in 1998 or whatever, that's what this studio shot is from. That's what it is.
To get ECW figures at this time, it was just the best, man, because if you think about it, it's like WWE, WCW, ECW was number 3, but it was such a distant third, but it didn't feel like it.
I just did Mike Johnson's interview, PW Insider, and we were both talking about, like, when these were on the shelves, it like legitimized your fandom for it, right?
Yes.
It was like, okay, maybe it's not so distant 3 if like you can find their toys at Target. That's a cool deal. And Sabu signed the book for me backstage at the live show. He told me he hates this figure.
Of course.
Then he doesn't like the head or whatever, and he's pissed that it didn't come with the headdress, and he gave me a couple of excuses, but
But coming with the trash can, pretty perfect.
Yeah, it's fine. Table would have been cool, but there's a lot of ECW Sabu figures. The next one is in the orange, slight repaint.
Series 3 Target exclusive.
Pretty damn cool.
Let's see how many of these I have signed in my collection. We're 2 for 2 right now.
Okay. Now this figure is exactly the same, or is it
exact same
different shade of
figure
orange?
re-released in the Bash of the Brawlers line. Yes.
Got it.
He's also like
orange?
long gone from ECW by the time this is coming out.
So he's in WCW now?
No, he was in WCW for like 3 weeks in 1995.
Okay.
He gets fired / quits in like late 99 in ECW. People don't realize he's not there in like 2000.
I thought he went back to WCW. Does he not?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Maybe my timetable's off.
Yeah, but yeah, he's not that last year of ECW. He's not there.
Okay.
He's
so next up is the ring.
Guy. I have this signed too. Oh man, I could tell you another funny Sabu story. I have this obviously, and over 10 years ago when I decided to get everything signed, I was doing a convention. It was like outside of Philly, I want to say. So I drove down with Raleigh, and I have this ready to go, and I'm fired up. It couldn't be more mint. Like, if you can find this playset,
Yeah.
it's pretty jacked up or whatever, or people opened it and put it back in the box kind of thing. This is like as crisp as I've ever seen. And I'm so fired up. I have it. I'm wanting him and Rob to sign it, obviously. I get there. My table is right next to their table. So I'm with Raleigh, and I'm just like, oh, this is a layup, whatever. So there's like a little lull. I go, hey, Sabu, do you mind signing this for me? He goes, no problem. He signs over RVD. And I go, dude, what are you doing? That's Rob. He goes, oh yeah. And then he signs this. So now I have Sabu. I'm looking at Raleigh like thank God Raleigh was there, because like I almost had like a meltdown, like a panic attack. So it was at this like, must have been like some kind of rec center or like school or whatever. We found like a custodian cart, with all the things, and we found like a spray and a thing, and we got it off like in time that it
Was this paint pen or Sharpie?
It was paint pen.
Okay.
Wow.
But terrifying moment, and such a Sabu thing to do to me. Like, oh, fuck.
Pretty cool, though.
Pretty cool.
Great.
Now, this is in like a silver. Is this like fantasy? I don't really remember him wearing like the black sash.
For sure, the black and the black tape and all that stuff is a fantasy. The gear might be real.
I remember we talked about this in the ECW history of episode, or you guys did. Perfect two guys. Included in this ring and with this ring. And
it wasn't. I want to say it had like Taz and somebody else on the other pictures, but yeah.
So the
just got this signed, completed.
Oh, by the way, so he leaves ECW 2000. He's just doing indies until 2002, which is
he does like XPW when they're trying to like get bigger.
Yep.
TNA Lockdown, Raven vs. Sabu. This might be the best Sabu figure.
It's very fun. Pants don't move as much as you'd probably want them to, but for back then, kind of innovative.
Yep.
Raven told me he hates this figure because he said he looks fatter than Tommy Dreamer in it. Which he's right. It's not very flattering. But I have that dual signed. Was on the show just a couple weeks ago.
Right. This is the one where he signed Raven on the shirt, and it looked like it was part of the shirt.
Right. Which is also why did they airbrush Raven shirt?
Right. Okay.
All right. Classic Superstars.
This was like a big deal when it came out, because it was like, whoa, what? Because he was like the first one, like of that generation, I want to say, to get like a classic, right?
Huge deal. So he's got the headdress, which doesn't quite fit, but it works. It's good enough. The soft goods pants in the gold. But yeah, this is before his return to WWE.
Like
correct?
right before. But like I say, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is he was like a very active performer who got a classic.
Right.
So it was like, whoa.
Because think about it. This comes out, 2005-ish? Maybe 2006?
Yeah, maybe early.
So he's still pretty active.
Yeah.
I mean, he comes back to be on that main roster. What am I saying?
Yeah,
so he's active.
It was a hell of a run in 06.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then there's the Ruthless Aggressions. Now this is him on the roster. It's there's a gold, there's a blue.
It's like a chase before there was chases.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Now he has some classic matches with like Rey Mysterio. With
run is unreal.
Cena.
Like there's the Big Show, SummerSlam, Cena, Ray.
Yep.
I mean, he's doing awesome stuff.
That's cool.
I mean, he's kicking and screaming because Vince made him talk, and he didn't want to do that, obviously.
Right.
But he's still Sabu. Like once the bell rings, like you're gonna get what you paid for.
Are these new molded pants for Sabu?
Yeah. The other one has like trunks under the soft goods one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's the classic 3-pack. Where's that? Is that later on?
Well, they actually might have made these pants for Daivari first. I'm not sure which came first.
So here's
Daivari was in the suit, so then they reused these for Daivari. That's what happened.
And there's one time that Sabu lost his bag, so he uses Daivari's.
Again, very Sabu.
So Sabu Big Show 2-pack, SummerSlam, Road to WrestleMania 23. Pretty good. Oh, here's the 3-pack. Classic Superstars. Terry Funk, Cactus Jack, Sabu in like an orangish. It works.
Still really cool.
Yeah.
What a great 3-pack.
Right.
I love Classic Superstars. So then we got the deluxe aggression. This is a good sculpt too of his head.
I love this.
Pretty
This
great.
might be my favorite Sabu scan. If you
There's way more Sabus than I thought. So this is Sabu on the roster, deluxe aggression.
had a ton.
Looks great. Really, really cool figure. It's wild to see like figures before interchangeable hands. Like we're just so used to the different hands.
I know, and
You know?
how much that can really do to enhance something.
Right. Next up is a deluxe aggression 3-pack. I have no memory of this.
KB Toys exclusive, yes, and that's a repaint with the split colored pants.
Sabu, Bobby Lashley, Rob Van Dam. Looks good. I don't have that. You don't have all these, do you,
I
Brian?
don't have any deluxe anymore. Just me.
Just you. Then we have this is a great one, the Unmatched Fury Sabu.
I think if you want to get one figure to honor Sabu, unless you have sentimental attachment to any other form factor, this is the one.
It's a nice display piece, almost like a mini statue.
It's incredible.
Yeah, these are all pretty awesome.
It stands on its own too. I have it. I mean, it's on the desk here right now, but it normally is over on my shelf there. I mean, it has never moved.
Iconic piece.
Yeah.
Love it. So then we have the Micro Brawler.
Man, that's
Sabu.
a huge gap in Sabu merch, by the way.
A
time-wise.
huge gap,
Yeah.
over a decade, huh?
Yep.
Pretty great micro brawler though. Good pose and scars.
What a
Body
classic. I love it. The next up is, oh my God, I didn't even know he had this. The bootleg pint-size all-star Sabus.
We made fun of this pretty heavily on the show back in the day because his hand is backwards, right?
It's something weird, right?
It's like the fingers are here, not the, yeah, it's like,
Got it.
oh, you can kind of see it. It's not the way the drawing is. Let's just say
Woof.
that.
That's a big woof,
Yeah, this
woof,
doesn't-
woof.
this looks more like Joey Janela.
And then
like
we
Jake the
have, here we go, Zombie Sailor. Zombie put up a great shot of him and Sabu with it both doing the pose with the figure.
That was at Creative Pro.
Look at this. This
I love these
Man.
figures. I have a really hard time standing them.
No, mine.
it's tricky.
You know, same. My kids, like I said, torment this house, jumping, dancing, doing gymnastics, and my two Sabus have never fallen.
I have to lean him up against. They're kind of like leaning up against two big sturdy guys.
Right.
I absolutely love this figure.
Think about it, Sabu's so, beloved. This was like basically the way Zombie broke through the door of what he was doing, right? It was like the first thing we ever saw.
It's perfect. And I'm honored to be in this set with him,
True.
which is really cool.
Got a little variant of that one.
That's the New York Comic Con in the purplish.
And it has the soft goods sash and stuff. That's the difference, really, besides obviously the pant color. And that's actually the one that I had because I got it from Zombie right before we left for the cruise. And I showed him and his agent Josh on the cruise. And I think that was another way of like kind of breaking the ice with him.
Got it. Next up, we have, look at this, Major Bendies, our company. We got Sabu in the blue, the Extreme Bendies, the bloody variant, the bloody chase. Unbelievable.
Pretty
Looks
great.
really cool. And then, of course, there's the repaint that kind of match your ECW original Samson as a toy maker in the green. I love it. Super cool.
Yep. Love
Next
that
up,
packaging.
we have the Uncensored, which is not terrible, but it's a
I gotta say,
standalone.
maybe even on the underrated scale, it's technically the only
6-inch.
6-inch modern day Sabu wrestling figure. But I
Yep.
think actually, Jack Slime still has a bunch for sale. I would hop on them before they're gone,
Really?
and they're discounted.
Oh, damn.
You have that just in your miscellaneous box there? Shelf?
Yeah, I have it on display in my case, and then I have another one just that I just have because I'm
Great.
nuts.
Yeah, this is definitely, when I reset up my miscellaneous shelf, will definitely be there 100%.
Because at least it has interchangeable hands, and you can do the point.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Yep.
That looks great like that. Pose like
Yeah,
that.
it's not bad. And then, of course, the Bell to Bell. Great sculpt on there.
This
And
is
he's got the
great.
finger. It's a great figure. So that's available right now at Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code MAJOR to save 10%.
And again,
So
I could see that not lasting very long
I wonder,
on the website.
I mean, do you think there's a possibility there's some autograph ones of these out there? I mean, there's
it
definitely,
would- I
the
think
timetable allows it.
The timetable allows it, but it would have been only WrestleCon and what he did 2 weekends ago in Philly, right? There was a big convention in Chicago.
Yeah. I don't know. Wow. And then, of course,
WrestleCon, I was shocked that, after the the Joey Janela match, which I was like, holy shit, he's probably not well.
Yeah.
He showed up to sign. I couldn't believe it.
And guys, we still have at least two Sabu products. It's probably going to be more, to be honest, but two that are planned, ready to go in the next coming months. He's going to be in the Major Stars line, again, in that green. It's cool that we got to show him these. So there's the Sabu Major Stars, as well as the upcoming Big Rubber Guy, which, man, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm sure there'll be a repaint, some sort of repaint.
I would love to do the Big Rubber Guy bloody, obviously, the way like we just done Flair and Harley.
I'm putting into the universe. We have a major call tomorrow. I want to make last match Sabu Joey Janela figures. I wish Sabu was around for it to see it.
I think that's the bittersweet thing. It's like, it's very cool to honor him and, celebrate his legacy in this way. But I almost I also love that we were helping him out financially and things like that. I'm a little bummed about that, but
yes. So we will try our best to keep his legacy living on forever. I mean, he doesn't need our help. It's fucking going to live on forever. He changed the business.
Absolutely unforgettable. So
the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal Sabu. Rest in peace, bro. We love you.
And don't call him Terry. I once did that and he got real mad at me.
All right, up next is the Q&A.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, if you're feeling your age more than you used to, especially in the bedroom, it's time to snap out of it. Blue Chew is what you need to perform where it's most important and perform in a major way.
Does Blue Chew work? If you're asking that question, we want you to know that Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is by giving you a month free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive the prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information.
Blue Chew wants men to rock hard. They told me. That's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our audience. Try Blue Chew free. Just pay $5 shipping at checkout when you visit BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring Major Wrestling Figure Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome to the Q&A brought to you by Blue Chew. We love our Blue Chew. I stay always ready with the Blue Chew. Brian is the most professional Blue Chew chewer. And, Mark has those silver balls. He got to fill them up.
Oh, man.
Use that Blue Chew to fill them up.
Goldust drained those balls, so you're going to have to get some Blue Chew to fill them back up.
I got to get more, yeah.
Well, use the hashtag AskMajorPod. If we answer your question on air, you will get a prize. What do we got, Mark?
All right, my question, Misfit at CYRXS Crisks 17. If Mattel started crowdfunding really deep cut figures instead of play sets, what are some deep cuts you'd want in your collection?
Man, Fuji was a big missing one. I'm glad we're getting Fuji.
I feel like Mattel, they could always find a way to get guys into a set, but if we're going to play along
do
here,
a build a Golga. There's no end in sight.
If we're going to play,
they did Goon in a main set.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. But let's play along with the question.
Right.
And make it as realistic as possible.
Beaver cleavage.
I would like that.
That would be insane.
I feel like it would have to be like a fun to whole set, because there's nothing enticing about one figure, you couldn't put a whole promotional run around like
you
Fun
can't just
Beaver.
be
It would have to be like a weird set, like
Attitude Era, Just Joe, Beaver Cleavage, like rando guys like that.
Tiger Ali Singh.
Pretty much everyone who Mitch is making illegally,
Yeah.
What about like a Mae Young, Mark Henry 2-pack?
with the hand.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if anyone actually wants that. Yeah.
Would it crowdfund? I'm thinking like, how they did the dentist, like, is there a funny look from somebody?
I mean, we're getting G.I. Bro even this year.
Like Shawn Michaels dressed
hats off to Mattel that's making this hard to answer because they do random.
They do a lot, especially like they're doing John Tenta half-shaved head. Tenta.
Jeez.
Man. Yeah, it's tough to even fantasize about this, like what they could do. Because I would say even if they did like a Hogan, like a Suburban Commando Hogan or something like that.
That's not a deep cut though. People would go crazy over that.
Here's a really deep cut one. What about NWO dressed as the Four Horsemen?
Oh my God! That would be wild.
Segment or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. DX did it with the Nation, but I don't think that holds up.
Yeah,
that's not going to age well. No.
Yeah, it's not going to fly.
It does not hold up.
Man, great question. Tricky because Mattel does such a great job with the figures.
That's one of my takeaway from this.
Yeah.
All right, Matt's question. Mind Runner at Mind Runner. What is a figure that you wish had been made by Mattel or Jazwares but never was for whatever reason?
I mean, Jazwares, any luminaries.
I think
what have we've gotten we've gotten 2 Stings, Jericho, and 2 Owen Harts in almost 5 years.
I think Jazwares missed the boat on a Coach Arn Anderson as well as a luminaries Arn Anderson. Like totally missed the boat. Like Coach Arn Anderson should have had a figure. He was on TV every week with Cody.
Luminary Arn would have ruled because I don't love the Mattel one.
No.
It's pretty cool.
We talked about him earlier. Joey Janela was supposed to get a figure. He's even makes like the at the store he's on like the fucking
Do we think there's meat on the bone for a like 90s or 80s Shivani?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would dig that.
He just did like a sit down with Renee on the YouTube. I thought it was great.
Yeah, he's great. Tony's a great guy.
He's awesome.
Mattel, listen, I'm not going to say Hawkins and Ryan or WrestleMania. I'm not going to say those. But
my biased answer to this would be a Gatecrashers Lance Archer and a Heath Seekers Tyler Rex. Basic.
Okay.
People have snuck in there enough that I feel like we could have got something.
I think
Battle Pack or something.
I still want big time, like a SummerSlam 91 Macho Man.
Okay.
That's one that I feel like Mattel, like the wedding. I feel like they missed the wedding.
They teased that with those dolls, and then
they teased it with the
nothing
dolls.
ever came of it.
Jazwares needs to make QT.
There's still time, but there's still time for that. I think this question was like, who did they miss out on? They had.
I was just trying to think of like early AEW people.
But they didn't get that Jimmy Havoc out fast enough. That's what happened.
Yeah,
they missed it's time for the main event, Mark Henry.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, what an era in AEW history.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think Mattel has done a great job with making the most out of their
I always
guys.
would have loved a Dinner Debonair, like ringside 2-pack. Like when that was hot. I mean, now it would be kind of silly, but
yeah.
At one point in like COVID wrestling, that was like such a big thing that happened, right?
Yes.
I would have loved a Nikki, like Spirit Squad Nikki.
Like
I think they could have done. Yeah, like a Legends with the brutal aggression.
They could have they could have done that for sure.
They could have done that.
Chavo's caddy chase.
Imagine that. Man.
Actually, a whole Spirit Squad situation would be great.
Yeah, but they had
Chavo signing a Legends deal would be cool to me.
Yeah.
At this point, right?
I think Mattel does a great job, but there's always something,
Yeah. All right, Brian's question. Alan Hetzel, at Alan Hetzel. What is the origin story of Knick? How do you meet? How did he get involved with your collect major?
Well, we talked about earlier. We met at SummerSlam.
He was born, and he just only grew to such a certain height. And that was it.
So the first time that we met him was at Toy Fair the year that me and Brian went. Broski did not go.
And me, you, and VSK, right?
Me, you, and VSK went. We did a vlog that actually did pretty well on our channel. And at one point, Knick comes up to us to talk to us. I believe.
I think at this point, I did not know who he was, that he was in the toy business, nothing. And I thought he was just a guy who recognized me and wanted the photo.
Yes, so we both thought he was a fan, and his hands were shaking like they do sometimes. And I thought he was the most nervous fan I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
To the point where I felt like, is this man okay?
Well, we now know he's not.
Is it the following? Now we know that your intuition was correct. Is the following year when Broski's like, I have to go see the guy from Eagle Moss because he's got ice cream for me. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And we were like, what?
Is that the next year or the year before?
No, I think it's the next year. Because then I knew who he was.
Okay.
And you're like, I have to go see his ice cream for me. And like WWE had like kind of made those half-ass bars, and he told you that he had them for you.
Yeah.
We were going to get them, like John Cena ice cream bars or something.
Yeah.
That's like the next like Knick thing that registered in my brain. Do you remember this, Mark?
No, I do.
Yes, I do. But I also know that in our first interaction, we were both kind of like, like really taken back by it. But then he did eventually tell us something that we were like, oh, you're.
And then maybe in that same vlog, we go by the Eagle Moss booth or something too.
Yes, something.
Definitely go by the vlog.
Because he said something to us and we're like, what?
Yeah, we definitely go by the booth in the vlog. And then eventually he starts making like, like the hog condom or like foam fingers. There's weird items for us, and eventually becomes like our merch guy.
Which has to be him talking to you, not me.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we had a big problem with Zombie because Zombie, we launched this podcast with Zombie as our merch guy. Zombie has a Major Pod jacket.
Damn, yeah. And I mean,
that's how much a part of the team
that
he
relationship's completely forgotten.
Then, once he started his own toy line, didn't have time for little old Major
he couldn't
Pod.
make the pins for us. There was the one, the last straw with Zombie was when he showed up to the live show with everything still in the box.
Undone, and we wanted to kill him.
Oh, yeah. So then Knick was helping you out with this or that, and then he just kind of took all that over.
Yeah, and slowly but surely takes over like the merch. Comes to live shows.
I just look at me and Knick's Facebook messages.
Me too, actually.
He messaged me February 12th, 2020. He goes, hey, sent you a Shawn. Let me know if you need anything else. I'm assuming it's a Shawn Michaels. I have no clue what. Maybe an Eagle Moss guy?
Yeah, Eagle Moss.
My first Facebook message is from June 14th, 2019. It's just his address. Maybe he won a prize or something from
Probably. And then the day we're fired, he wrote, hey, sorry to hear the news. If you need any help getting any merch made or stuff from Eagle Moss, don't hesitate to reach out. I said, thanks, bro.
Man. Wild. But here's the thing. So then, he's making our merch for a while. And then he comes up with this idea. We've told this story before. He thinks he can make us bendies. And he comes to me. I believe it's me first. And he's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, well, what's the split here? And he's like 50-50. I'm like, well, that's not going to work because Brian and I split everything 50-50. You're not making more than me on this, pal. So I'm like, we do it 3 ways. I'm in. And then he agrees. And we actually make a mark. It's a mark figures made first, just in case. We didn't know if we could even do this. So we didn't want to make a Matt or a Brian because it wouldn't be fair to the other. We're like, well, fuck, let's make Mark.
That was such a mature decision by us because imagine if it's never worked out and it was just a 1-on-1 and one of us always had like this random bendy. That kind of pissed me off.
So Mark, do you have it with like the giant head? Do you still have that somewhere?
I have whatchamacallit, but I don't know if it's that.
There was some pretty ugly prototypes for sure.
I mean, you'd be able to tell it has like a giant fucking head.
Yeah.
Or it's either giant or tiny. It's one or the other.
Now I'm thinking it's tiny.
Nah.
You don't have it? Would you
I have
sell
a prototype in a case, but
I have like a bin of prototypes. I don't
pretty
display
normal.
But yeah, and ever since, he's a hardworking guy.
He's been a little blessing.
Yeah. So we're trying to take over this toy business one step at a time, and we're all learning together. And we got this team of
don't let Kinnick's exterior fool you. He's very savvy, extremely hardworking.
Exterior.
And ever
He's
since
a hell of a snorer, though.
A hell of a snorer.
Ever since I forced him to dress nicer, I think it's.
I don't know. I was all for that decision. I think people take him much more seriously at conventions and when we're pitching people. Yeah,
100%.
I enjoy his dating stories.
Oh boy,
he's got great dating stories. Apparently, he went bald in fucking 10th grade or whatever.
So, yeah, he's a big part of the team, and with the whether it be the podcast or the bendies, he's along for the ride with us. So, integral part of the puzzle. Great question.
All right.
Let's go to some good housekeeping. Guys, good housekeeping. YouTube.com/@MajorTheRiffPod. We have a vlog right now. What's the latest vlog that's up there? It's
WrestleCon?
No, WrestleCon's not yet. You guys at Teddy Good Store did great.
Yep. Hold on, I got the thumb right here. We have the Teddy Good one. That's up there. Make sure you watch that, and then also the three of us at the New England Fan Fest, which is kind of like a part 2 or a prequel to the Teddy Good.
That's right.
We do a click hug at the end of that one because we're all reunited for the first time.
I think this is a nice little vlog ski. There's some cool, rare shit shown in this vlog. Look at Brian. Brian is real confused at this.
I'm like, why does Broski want a hug? He never doesn't like affection.
Yeah. But this week is a brand new one. Broski at Nerd Bomber.
Nerd Bombers, check it out. Great little store. It's not even little. It's quadrupled in size since I went there before.
Shit.
I did a meet and greet there, and then when there was a lull or I had some downtime, I went and vlogged the store because the selection of figures is incredible. So check that out. Great store in the Carolinas. Check that out. We got a bunch of stuff coming. We got the Mania vlogs coming.
But the Mania is 1,000,000% next week because we got the rough draft of it, and we have to make sure that
Mark has to go through all the incriminating, intoxicated Broski.
Well, Broski,
no, I want to watch it.
He wants to watch before
I want to
watch
it. I want to watch it. We got the Hall of Fame we're going to put up as a standalone. We're going to put up some clips from the live podcast.
Hall of Fame is up right now, and
it is.
Yes, and the
when did you put up the Hall of Fame?
30 minutes ago.
While we were doing this?
Hall of Fame.
I already had it set. It was ready to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the clips from the Live 21 will be going up on the main channel. We've got some great interviews. Not the best footage. Both shots, not very good. Sound, not awesome. However, it was an awesome night, so hopefully you can check it out and get past the fact that it's not the best footage.
Billy Peck says, cheap plugs. Kinnick can be heard on several episodes of Major World Order, as well as Captain's Log. Loads of great backstory.
There you go.
Check that out. ProWrestlingTees.com/MajorWFPod. Get your Major Pod merch. We need a little summer collection, I think. A little, fresh paint a coat for some summer stuff.
I think we gotta get Danny Cos back, bro. I don't know why we did that.
Because
I don't know why either.
I know why. Because it wasn't making us any money.
Yeah, but it was more if you want something that's like. I don't know.
It wasn't making us any money. It was too confusing to plug 2 different merch shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
it wasn't making us.
We could do like drops. I think is what we need to do with him.
I'm not opposed to a
like
drop.
a Major Pod tracksuit only available this week.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
See?
I wear that everywhere.
See,
I'm not opposed to that.
Talk to me. Talk to me, Pa. The chat's going crazy over it.
There's not one
comment.
I'm saying it will.
Saturday morning here on
YouTube. The chat's going crazy is the funniest thing. Oh, look at this.
There you go.
All right.
Could be talking about something else.
whatnot.com. Get your figures over there. Whatnot every Monday. Brian and I are on Whatnot. I've been killing it on Whatnot.
Guys, my parents are here. They've taken over my playroom. I think I'm doing my Whatnot from my garage for the first time.
Wow, a garage, Whatnot.
Maybe I'll have a garage beer in my garage
There you go.
doing Whatnot today.
Major
And actually,
Rewind.
before Broski gets them, I do have autographed
You son of a
Spider-Man
bitch.
comics ready to go today. Whatnot?
You son of a bitch.
Hey, real quick, this is the craziest picture I've ever seen.
Bro, imagine taking that move.
Dude,
What the hell?
I love Josh. I think the world of him. He's a great wrestler. I never want to take that fucking thing again, and I will not miss a second.
He's got a new variation of it in AEW.
Yeah.
Because it's basically
Every time I took that, I woke up the next day like I was in a bad car accident.
It's like there's no protecting yourself on
He's
that one.
just-
Your arms are locked behind your body. Like you can tuck your
It
chin as
doesn't
much
matter
as you
how big
want.
your traps are. Your neck is gonna be just
Oh,
rocked. It's
oh
too
my
violent.
god. Oh, there's no way to protect yourself.
Yeah.
My neck, it feels like it's broken. Major Rewind every 2 weeks. Jay George, we love you, Jay George. Trip down memory lane. He does a great job on those shows. Check those out. I'm sure there's some Kinnick stories on some Major Rewind. And every other week from the vault.
It's probably us going, remember that fan we met? Like this week? It was
He
so
was shaking
Yeah.
like a leaf.
What's
Man,
from
the first
vault?
time I met Nick, he was shaking like a leaf, man.
From the vault? What we
this
got?
week is a major rewind. Last week I put up the complete history of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves figures and the movie
From the
review.
vault?
From the vault, yeah.
Nice.
Right.
And then plugs, guys. This week, I am returning to AIW, 20-year anniversary. Mark, you didn't put the graphics?
Oh, I got him in.
Okay. 20-year anniversary. I am taking on Wes Barkley
Oh,
for the
Pubic hair
Intense,
McGee. He's back
for
in
the
action.
Intense Championship. Like when I was
Broski, is this the longest story? Finish the story. You've
Well-
been feuding with these two guys.
I mean, I'm not feuding with them. I'm just giving him, I don't want to say I'm giving him the rub, but I am. Like he's hyped as the biggest match of my life, biggest match of his career, and it is for me. It's a Friday booking. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very honored to be a part of AIW's 20th anniversary. I feel like AIW is one of those companies that when I started to get my feet wet on the indies, I would, I was a regular there. So I thank AIW. So I
Always
had to
great
be
to
there
me,
for that.
man. It's an awesome indie.
Josh,
Yes,
Broski, Josh Prohibition is the special guest referee. Isn't
Yeah.
he the one whose
Yeah.
daughter gave you that move?
Yeah. So you smell that? I smell
Yeah.
collusion. I smell it real bad.
You're in
This
trouble.
is literally long-term storytelling. You
But
Well,
you-
at least you don't have to worry about Stiffy McGee. He's fired.
yeah, he's fired.
he got fired?
He got
Stiffy
fired.
McGee's
You're
fired.
fired. But new venue, which I love. So I'm excited to check out the new venue. And the next day, I'm going to ACW, taking on Richard Holiday. Listen, this promotion right here, I am all for them promoting the hell out of the show, but they want me to collab twice a day on something. It's like, all right, how many times am I going to collab before you guys
do
are
a
paying
great
me? to
job.
put
I was on the first one. It's
Yeah.
wildly professional for an indie.
Listen, I
Let's see.
appreciate the amount of promoting they do. We might need to hire them for fucking Collect Major.
Yeah,
the amount of promoting they do. But Jesus Christ, there's
You'll
no way I'm
see.
accepting a collaboration every single day. But Richard Holiday, Dick Christmas versus Matt Cardona in the main event. Very
Broski had some
excited.
stiff words for
His opponents.
What did I say about?
I forget. It was on the pod, or did I just see a promo?
No, I think no. Richard Holiday's fine. He's fine. That should be his nickname. Fine, Richard Holiday.
Just fine, Richard Holiday.
Like he's great. He's a champion.
Well, he's got a belt,
Until-
and I know you love belts, so.
Well, he's a champion until May 17th because I'm
Didn't want to be
coming.
in your seg though.
Well, he did not want to be in my seg at the Hammerstein Ballroom, but at the MJN Convention Center at Aftershock, I
Maybe
will
you
be
should
walking
bring
out.
Big Ben Bishop in to get your back in that one. Be a little
Maybe.
heater.
Look at Tommy Dreamer's on the show. I think getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Leo Sparrow on the card. Moose, Mike Santana.
This is a cool card.
It's a cool card. So check me out in Cleveland and Poughkeepsie this week.
Well, Friday night, I'm going to land in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and go grab a few cold ones with my good friend, JBL, because it's Beers with Bradshaw, Friday, May 16th, live at the time, Community Theater, the home of the legendary Live 6 guys.
Really?
Yeah, JBL Live doing his thing. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll be up in the balconies,
Dylan does this
crushing
every
garage
year.
beers for sure.
He has like a show the night before at the theater.
Yeah. He always parlays it with something.
Yeah, he's smart.
And then the very next day, ACW, Wisconsin, Water City Wrestling Con, May 17th. Guys, I got a big one here. First off, let's look at the card here. Santino Marella, Shelton Benjamin, JBL, Jinder Mahal, Kelly, Colt Command, Chris Finley, Demolition, WWE legend Dylan, Heath, myself. That's a lot of freaking talent on one show. Also, Joe Shoes and Knick are coming in for this, so I'll be hanging out with the boys all weekend.
Wow.
And then my big match, special guest referee Swoggle, standing between his two best friends, his best real life friend, his best wrestling friend. If I win, and shall I say when I win this match, I will finally be inducted into the Water City Wrestling Con ACW Hall of Fame.
That's not on the graphic.
Well, that's the step.
Huh.
You guys are both working for ACW.
Yeah, not the
That's
same
wild,
one, though.
actually. What a quinky dink. Very far away. Oshkosh,
Very far away.
In Poughkeepsie.
Well, AEW's in Chicago on Wednesday, double taping, so I'm leaving tomorrow, actually.
Are you off all weekend?
But yeah, then I'll be back for the weekend, yeah.
Wow.
Do some work, pal.
Okay.
All right. Well, pretty long episode. Rest in peace, Sabu. Get your Owen Hart. Get your Major Bendies. Get your Big Rubber guys.
All right. Roll it up.
1, 2, 3. I'll be back, Jack.
Join the community at MajorMarks.com and get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes footage, and become a member of the Major family.
You get bonus episodes on our careers, wrestling figure history, and exclusive interviews with our friends and legends in the business each month.
You also get early access to YouTube videos and, of course, the weekly podcast ad-free and breaking news updates.
Brand new shows featuring
Oh, baby.
and you. Each month, you can interview someone in the wrestling business with the Captain's Log.
Also, buy, sell, and trade in our exclusive Facebook community where people have become friends in real life.
Certain memberships include merch like monthly trading cards and quarterly mystery gifts.
Become a Major Mark and join MajorMarks.com today.